I believe I'm live now. Hasn't come up. Ah, there you go. So there's a slight delay in everything. Right, and just get to the right screen. I don't know if anyone's in yet. No. Got the cat with me. She's going to attack. No. Hello, welcome. I just thought I'd do a live stream for a change. I haven't done a video in ages. So I thought I'd do a live stream just while I'm at home. What I'll do is I'll put the link in the chat. So if anyone wants to join and be on screen and have a chat, just click the link and follow through, and you'll come up on screen and we'll have a little chat. Or I'll just talk to myself. That's not a problem at all. Now, the StreamYard, which is what I'm using, there is a delay. I think it's a minute, maybe 30-second delay. So the chats come up slightly slower. So if I get to them slowly, I apologise. But yeah, so we got 2 people watching. So if you want to join in, feel free. So the allotment, it's not really happened this year. I haven't really done any videos anyway. Just been busy with other stuff at the minute. And I've kind of taken a back seat with it. So I haven't really done that much at all with the allotment. We've had a few bits, so like our raspberries and strawberries and stuff like that, the perennial stuff that's come through, which has been good. We've made gin. Sorry, you can see the cat there. Right, Mel? There's no sound. Why is there no sound? Hang on. Bear with me. No sound. Why is there no sound? There you go. That's fine. Hi, Joe. Digging for dinner. How are we doing? How's the allotment going? How are you finding it with being so far away now? Two seconds. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, we haven't really done that much with the allotment. I still need to build my shed, which is going really slowly, especially in this weather now. It's been horrendous. So I haven't really had a chance to do it at all, really, which is a shame. But as I said, it's difficult getting down there. I mean, it just with work. Started a new job, so it's getting. I've been busy with that really and doing more work than I probably should have at home and stuff. So I haven't really gone down in the evenings over the summer and that. But I've got big plans for next year at the plot. So I want to get everything in order. So I still haven't finished building. So we got the shed, the beds, and the layout really. So it's been difficult with all that to get it where I want it to be. So I've had the plot for 4 years. I think it's 4 years. So yeah, it's difficult. It's fair distance to travel. Yeah, fair play to you, mate. Doing the traveling. I don't know if I'd be that committed to traveling that far every week and going and doing all that work to travel back. I did enjoy the Halloween special or the night on the plot. That was good. Hi, Allotment Life. How are you? I'll put the link back in. So if either of you want to join in, feel free. You can come up on screen, have a chat. Obviously, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Just make sure. How are both your allotments? Joe was just saying he's making it work with the travelling, which fair play to you. I don't know if it's a long way, mate. Long way. Do you think you'll keep it going next year now? Or are you still on the lookout? I haven't managed to catch up with your latest videos, so I'm not sure where you're at. I know you were looking for a new plot, but I don't know where you're at with it. Okay. What happened to your leg, if you don't mind me asking? Got 3 people. Yeah, so the plans for next year, I'm looking for something to grow. Something a bit unusual. So each year I try to grow something a bit unusual, and it's not always, well, it hasn't really worked. So I'm just adjusting my leg. I'm thinking I'm going to try and grow tobacco again, but I don't know the implications of growing tobacco in terms of tax and that. I think it's fine to grow. From what I've read, it's fine to grow, and you can cure it. But once you get it cured, that's when you'd have to declare it for tax. I'm not a smoker myself, but I just fancy growing something a bit different, really. Just let me know there. Yeah, that's all you can do. Some of the waiting lists are ridiculous. I know I waited, I think it was 5 years for my plot. I was kind of lucky in a way. There was some private allotments nearby run by a farmer, so I managed to get a plot there for a while. And then as I was waiting for this plot, and then I just moved everything over, which is a nightmare, which I'm sure you know. Ooh, sorry to hear that, allotment life. Yeah, having plans is a bit different to actually following through on them, should we say. It's a lot different, really. But hopefully we'll get there soon. Cat's just come say hello. Homegrown Griffo, how are we doing? So Homebrew Griffo, he gives me a load of homebrew Griffo gives me a lot of hops and barley. He does his own brewing. Um, he's got his own YouTube channel, so if you want to check that out. But he also gives me some chicken manure. How are the chickens doing, mate? If you want to come on, Calv, feel free. Click the link. You can come on. We'll have a chat. Housebound for at least 2 weeks. Been itching to get back on my plot. I bet 2 weeks is a long time not being on the plot. Now my plot is 5 minutes in the car, maybe. And I haven't been there for 2 months. So I went on holiday, and I came back and I didn't do anything with it at all. I haven't been down there at all, partly due to weather and partly the first 2 weeks I was just caught up getting back into work and things like that. And then I've sort of been digressing so I don't go back down there just because I don't want to deal with all the weeds and stuff. But I really need to get back down there. But yeah, maybe when it's a bit sunnier, which could be next year now. No, I need to get down there this weekend. I do plan to get down there this weekend to do some more, do some weeding and just get it back into shape. Really, I still haven't planted my garlic and my onions, so I need to do that as soon as possible. Really. Um, Bring them on with you. They don't mind. My plot's 5 minutes on the mobility scooter. Oh, it's not too bad then. A lot of my life. When you plan to be back down there, or hoping to be back down there? Tomorrow. Oh, fair play. Yeah, my garlic's ready to go, and my onions, and my leeks. I haven't done anything with my leeks yet. I've got to prepare the bed for them though, which in this weather, because it's so saturated and so wet, um, I don't really I don't see the point, just because it just sticks to you like glue. It's just horrible. So I don't really see the point in doing that at the minute. But at the same time, I do need to. So I might have a little look at doing it this week. Painful trip, but worth it. I definitely say it's worth it, but it's whether it's worth the pain or not. That's the thing. Sorry, the cat's attacking me. Show you now. He's just having a chill. Oh, hang on, Mole. He's having a chill next to me. So yeah. Could be. No, I bet. Nothing worse than feeling like you can't do anything. What's that? My cat's now. So we've got 3 cats in total. And this is Molly. She's our newest addition. And we got 2 boys, Indy and Loki. So they're all rescue cats. But Molly, we're still introducing them to each other. So Molly and Indy are getting on better. They're pretty much fine now. But Loki and Molly, they're both black cats. They're not getting on as much. She's a bit feisty and he's just a bit too playful and in her face. Because she was where she came from last. She was bullied. So she's a bit, ah. See, she just attacked me. Malt. So yeah, she's a bit feisty really. And he's just a bit too playful. Which isn't a good mix at the minute. So what does everyone plan on growing next year? Anything exciting? Like I said, I want to do tobacco, and I'm looking at doing something a bit different. So we've got, I say a bit different. I've got a kiwi, no, fig tree that's outside, which is good. That's coming on nicely actually. I need to train that. We're hopefully gonna espalier it down the allotment. So instead of it growing tall, it grows down. And we've got a tree line there already, so I'm hopefully gonna weave it in and out the trees. But we'll see. There's a lot of holly there as well. But I'm looking for something a bit different to grow. I don't know if anyone's got any suggestions or while they're growing or anything like that. Calvin, how's the hops going? More varieties of onions, looking for the best taste. Spanish onions are quite nice, although I do like a pickled onion. We tend to use them a lot, and shallots rather than full onions now. I like that, Joe. If it works, I'll be coming to you for an off cut, please. Definitely would come in handy. Question for you all then, for the guys that are growing. In terms of, do you just grow anything that you fancy, or do you look at the cost in terms of how much it is to buy um to grow really? I was did 100 grams off my second year. Fair play, that's good. Yeah, give them some rhizomes, they should be alright then. And just let them do their thing for the first year, maybe the second year. Let them settle in, putting the energy into the growth, and then they should be flying. Uh, okay, silver skins. I like them. They're not too bad. Uh, Quality over quantity is definitely a thing we're going to focus on. I've seen how many tomatoes you grew, Joe. We didn't grow tomatoes this year just because we had so many last year. I couldn't face growing them again, so I'm not growing tomatoes. I may grow cherry ones, but we're not growing full beef tomatoes. Next year, and do some more cucumbers. I'm gonna lift my asparagus as well. So I grew asparagus from seed. It's now their fourth year. Yeah, have I been in the allotment 4 years? It's either 4 or 5 years now. So I'm going to lift them. I want to move the plants. So I'm going to lift them somewhere else um, and put them somewhere now. I don't know where on the plot, but we're going to move them because they're on the side on the walkway. Um, so it's a bit more difficult. They're hard to you walk past them and they just kept getting knocked and damaged and stuff. So we're gonna move them this year now and probably put like raspberry bushes just to create a bit more of a pathway for them. I grow what I enjoy eating. Yeah, it's a fair point. We grow a lot of strawberries and raspberries. We turn them into gin and jam, which is good. Um, I love Tigerella tomatoes. Tigerella, that's what we normally grow. They do really well. We grow them outside, don't grow them in the greenhouse at all, and they do really, really well, which is good. So I do like a Tigerella. Uh, Grow pumpkins. And yeah, someone was saying that about the pumpkin patch or something it was called. Um, it's so easy to do, pumpkins. Um, I've grown some Atlantic giants before, and the one we couldn't lift. There was three of us, and we couldn't lift it, so we ended up cutting it out at the allotment, and sticking a church candle in it. In for Halloween, that was about 2 years ago. Oh, Molly's come to say hello. Hello, hello. Come and say hello to every one of you. Oh, all three people. Who's this? Who's this? Sorry. So, how many pumpkins did you buy then, Calv? Hello. Everyone's watching you now, Mol. Yeah. Sorry. Let's just check that. There you go. This year was perspective, but I prefer less variety of the same crops, i.e. first early in the main crop potatoes, but not one pot of every variety, better quality. Yeah, it's a fair point. I was potato mad. I find the same with tomatoes, like I said, they just go wild, absolutely wild, and we get so many of them. Molly, gave 1,000 tomatoes away, which was fantastic for those who got. And it, yeah, that's it. It's the blight, isn't it? That's what'll. That's what kills it. Same with the potatoes. Sorry, I'm contending with this now. Say hello. She's taking pride of place on my lap. Um. Oh, pumpkin beer. That's interesting. Is it still brewing, or is it done now? Are you settling down here? So she's gonna settle down on my lap, looking at me. So sorry. It's like having a kid. It's weird, this StreamYard. I'm not sure if I like it because like there's a delay in StreamYard to YouTube. So normally I have a look on YouTube for the comments, but because of the delay, um, it's a bit weird. But yeah, we're gonna do more for us next year. We want to do more fruit. So I bought a load of blueberry plants towards the end of this year. So they're all planted up, ready to go. We've got a few that we had last year, which was good. Ah, sorry, she bit me. Which was good, but we wanted more. We're going to make blueberry jam, blueberry gin from it as well. I've got a bottle of strawberry gin for you, Calvin. I'll pop it over one day this week if you want. Now up to 5 people. Oh, bottling. That's your favourite job, isn't it? Beer needs to be bottled and conditioned. Yeah, so we had a strawberry gin and a raspberry gin. The strawberry gin, because we had so many strawberries, we had 4 bottles. The 4 bottles, 4 bottles of 1 litre gin from them, and then the raspberries we had about 2 litres. Was it a litre and a half, something like that? So we didn't have enough. Didn't have anywhere near as much as the strawberry. Really, I'll just pop in the link again because we've got a few more people in now. If anyone wants to join in the chat, feel free to come on, have a little look. I'll have a chat, should I say? Yeah, that's what I was saying. The asparagus. So we're looking at moving the asparagus next year. The figs we moved this year, and then we want to do more fruit. Well, more fruit than anything else really next year. Parsnips I'm not going to bother with again after what happened last year. I've said I won't do them again. Ended up coming up with like these boils on my hand from the stems where they acted with the sunlight apparently. So I won't be doing that again. Carrots. Does anyone know? So we have an issue with woodlice at our plot. They just get into everything. We have so many. Does anyone know or have any ideas about protecting plants from woodlice at all? No worries, Joe. 2 sugars, please, mate. Yeah, if anyone's got any ideas, let me know. What else are we doing this year at the plot? We've got potatoes, that's what I was going to say. So we've had issues with potatoes in terms of the blight getting to them every year. So we're looking at growing them possibly in the greenhouse, but obviously you've got to be careful because of the heat with them. Don't want them getting too hot and drying out. I know a lot of people have issues with that, but I don't know what else to do with that. It's a bit difficult, really. I have to do some research to have a look for them. So I'm just having a look. Sorry. Yeah, so the potatoes, we need to work on them really. Runner beans, we don't have any issues with them. We fly and we have thousands of runner beans, same as broad beans as well. Would like to get over mostly. Slugs are blamed far too often. When we first got the plot, we had a massive issue with slugs and snails. So when I first got it, nobody had used it for a couple of years, and there was just wild strawberries just everywhere, which was nice. But everything had just gone wild, and we had a massive issue can grow anything leafy really, any salad or anything like that. Just couldn't grow them because there's so many slugs and snails. We finally sorted them out, so we've got wood chip and stuff down, which helps prevent traveling and stuff. But now we've got the issue of wood lice, and I just don't know how to get rid of them. Hi, the fisherman. How you doing? Only grow first earlies now. They are out of the ground before blight generally hits. Okay, that's a good idea. I might give that a go. Hello, Fenster Farm Greenhouse. How are you? Is we're just saying about wood lice. I've got a massive issue with wood lice at the plot at the minute. They're a bit of a nightmare. They're just getting into everything. So our carrots, they've pretty much destroyed all our carrots. Beetroot as well. They just absolutely annihilate them. Yeah, I was saying we've had slug free this year mainly. Say hello, Mal. Yeah, the slugs haven't been too bad at all. We've controlled them. We've got a frog as well now. So next door, the guy who's got the plot next door, sadly he passed away last year, but his son has taken it over, and his son is going through the whole plot, moving everything and starting again basically. And when he did that, there was a frog living in a Belfast sink or a sink, which had some water in. So, and he didn't want it. So we've buried the sink and I've turned it into a makeshift pond essentially and put the frog back in there. So he has helped massively in terms of keeping the slugs and snails down. And if we find any anywhere else, we normally put them up there for him to enjoy. But hopefully we'll get a few more to try and keep them down. But wood lice, I just don't know what to do with. Really don't know what to do with. Allotment life. Okay. The slates on there further apart. Okay. Did that work or did it help a lot then? Just don't know what to do. And when I've had a little look, there's not much out there really for wood lice. So yeah, I don't know what to do with them. But has anyone got any suggestions or anything they want to shout out that's good to grow? Pumpkins, butternut squash. Enjoy your butternut squash. I think we're going to grow more of them next year because we didn't really grow any this year. Yeah, less space for the wood lice to hide under the trays. That's a good shout. I think with my allotment, because it's all pallets, I don't know if that, and some of with the raised strawberry bed, so there's two gaps. So you've got the first layer and then you've got the next one on top. So you've got your first one, next one on top. So it almost goes up like a pyramid. There is a lot of, chance for them to get under there and grow really. So that's I might have a look at that and try and make it a bit bigger or something, just so there's less room for them to hide between the boards and stuff. Really, that's a good shout. Might have a little look at that. So I've just had a private message. Beetroot failed this year. I was quite surprised at that. Normally we don't have any issues with beetroot and that. and they're normally pretty good, but this year they were awful. They just didn't come. I don't know if it was a problem with the seed or what, but they just didn't come at all. And normally, so I buy my seed from eBay, from, I think it's called Seeds Direct. I think they're called. I think they've got a website now. And they've been fantastic for years, really good. But this year, we had no seeds or hardly any seeds at all. Pill bugs typically eat dead organic food. Okay. I don't know what's happening then. Cheers, Calv. I'll catch you soon, mate. I'll drop that. I'll give you a text when I'll drop the gin overview. Have a good one. What was I saying? I've lost it. What was I saying? I can't remember. But yeah, we've been a bit rubbish really this year. Really rubbish in terms of the beetroot. That's what I was saying. It didn't do very well at all. This year, I'll have to have a look for next year now. I've started looking at and putting together my seed list for next year, which will be good. So more fruit, as I've said before, pumpkins, butternut squash, more asparagus, I think, because we've only got 3 crowns left. And they produce a little bit, but nowhere near enough for the two of us. See ya, greenhouse. Have a good one. So yeah, nowhere near enough for what we want, really. So I'll have to have a look at that. I've ordered the manure. That's coming not next week, the week after, I think it is. We've got a farm near us that that'll deliver manure. So it's a horse farm. They'll deliver it for £5, and the manure is free. So you're only paying for the delivery, which is really good. Really, not bad at all. That was the other thing I was going to say. So we had a few issues with the allotment this year. And when I say issues, it wasn't really issues. They were refilming the Christmas special for Gavin and Stacey. Now my allotment is on the hill where Stacey and Bryn live, so it's near the bottom of the hill, which is great, but it's a pain in the bum because they close the whole street off and to try and get to the allotment, and then they come over asking if you can be a bit quieter, so if you've got the radio on and stuff, because the house is more or less directly opposite the allotment, or one of the houses they use. So it's a bit of a nightmare, really. It's a bit of a pain in the bum. So we've had a few issues with that as well. So yeah, it was a nightmare for about a week and a half. Just couldn't get to the plot at all to do any work, or if you could, they were a bit funny about the noise and stuff like that, and constantly coming over and nagging, and it was a bit rubbish.
Stage, only the host can add you. You are in the show.
I've just added you, Joe. How we doing?
Oh, hello, mate. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can't see you, but I can hear you.
I can't see you either.
Can't see me?
No, it's still loading. I didn't even know you could do this.
Yeah, man.
This is nuts.
So you can have up to 6 people in here.
Wow.
So 6 of us, say there was 6 of us. You could all be having a chat and doing whatever, and you can screen share and stuff like that as well.
That's really cool. I never knew. How do I find out how to get this camera on? It says everyone can see and hear you, but I've got 2 blank pictures on the screen.
Down at the bottom, there should be like a little dashboard, and one says stop cam or start cam.
I've got nothing like that, mate. It just says audio, chat, or leave.
Okay.
Is it because it's in landscape mode? No.
No, it shouldn't do, because you should be able to use it like with a mobile phone and stuff as well.
That's what I'm on. I'm on the phone now. Yeah.
Okay.
I just had to update the software on there
Yeah. Oh, what have I done?
because it said the one I was using was out of date. Maybe that's why.
Is that any better?
No, it's the same.
Okay. I don't
I
know
could
what's
see
happening.
you before I joined, but now
Yeah.
it's just like a plain icon.
Okay, that's what I've got for you, but I can see myself, but I've just got your. It's just a circle with a like a little man in it.
Yeah, same. Who? Can you see yourself, Nad?
Yeah, I can see myself.
I might have to update this and then jump back in and see if that works.
Yeah, no worries. Give it a
Give me
go.
2 minutes, mate. I'll try and figure it out.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, mate.
See you in a minute.
Bye.
I think it's only you there, Joe, now. I'll wait for you. Oh my god, I'm warm. That's true. A lot of my life could be. Instead, you're stuck with mine. And maybe Joe's if he can get his work in. So if you want to jump on as well, Allotment Life, you don't have to have the camera on or anything like that. But if you want to come have a chat, there's the link. Yeah, there you go. So as I said, you can have up to 6 apparently with this, which is really good. I don't know if that makes a difference. Yeah, wood lice are a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. They're driving me nuts at the minute. Absolutely nuts. Compost heap is at the other end, so the wood lice where I have the most trouble are down at the bottom of the plot, and then the compost is 50 meters away, maybe more, at the top of the plot. So it's on a slight slope, so they're further up the plot really. So it's nowhere near it. Yeah, the heaps. So it's a slightly raised bed. It's about 2-3 inches maybe, and it's got a pallet or pallet board surrounding. So I don't know if it's that because it is quite close to each other. I don't know. Okay, maybe I'll have a look at what I might do, but I'm conscious I don't want to spread the problem. Is take that bed apart, move all the compost and all the soil that's in there, move it to a different bed or split it up between the other beds and rebuild that one to see if that improves it and see if that helps. I don't know if that would make a difference really. It might not. But yeah, they're mainly affecting my carrots. They're getting into the tops of the carrots and they're just burying themselves in and eating them out. They did with the bit with the beetroot as well. The few beetroot that we did have. Oh, these are prolific. There's loads of them. Absolutely loads. Like you can dig a carrot up and there'll be 50 to 100, say, wood lice there. Some buried in and just around it and eating it. Okay. Would the dead leaves make a difference then? I suppose they can hide under them, can't they? That's not a bad shout, actually. Maybe I'll have a look at that. Because the carrots were in there this year. The parsnips were in there the year before. So I don't know if we removed all of them or all the leaves. So that could be a shout. I'll have to have a look at that. Millipede start holes off, and the slugs, etc., take over. Yeah, slugs are not so bad at the minute. Or they weren't this year. Like I said earlier, we had a frog and stuff. And we've had a few preventative measures over the last 2 years, because when I started, it was horrific. Yeah, I think it might have been the so where the parsnips had gone so deep and we couldn't dig them out because it's clay soil. It might have been that then, thinking about it. So what I might do when either in the spring or if the weather improves this side of Christmas, is dig up the whole bed, dig everything out, and go a couple of feet deep. Really, even though it's all clay and solid, we'll have a little look to see. Monty's garden. I like it. We used beer traps on our plot mainly, and then there's a couple of plots further up. So there's only 8 plots in total, and there's only about 3 being used at the minute. So we took a load of them up to the top end where nobody's using the plots, and we put them there. We did put a lot of them there, in the hope that they should be, if what, 200, 250 meters away. So hopefully that's enough for them not to come back down to see us, really. But you just never know. I only buy the cheap stuff for them. It's like £1 for 4 cans, so you won't want to drink that anyway. But yeah, they do enjoy a beer, but then it's getting rid of them. I know you can get nematodes and stuff like that from them and do it that way, but we have so much rain here in Wales. It's difficult, really is. Sorry, I'm just having a look. Can't believe I'm talking for 42 minutes just on my own, talking rubbish. Sorry if I'm boring, you know. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, they do like the beer traps. That's the one thing that has worked really well, is the beer traps. They've done phenomenally well, actually, which is good. So what's the thing that you grow best then? Does that make sense? Allotment life. Is there anything that you can say actually, or have you won any prizes or anything for your any of your veg? I won't tell you said that. Which part of the country are you in, Allotment life? I'm in Wales, so we're quite far south. I'm in South Wales. Oh, used to win. Fair play. There's not much, or not that I've seen, shows or anything around here. Well, not that I've really looked, but I've had a Hi Sam's Allotment Diary. Yeah, there's not many shows that I've had a look at, really. But I would like to start doing it. Manchester, a bit further north then. So I suppose it's starting to get a bit colder up north as well then. So things are starting to really die down in the moment for you then. Hey, can you hear me?
I can, mate. Yeah.
I can see you as well this time.
I had to get the laptop because the phone. Yeah. The phone.
It's weird.
Wow, this is delayed.
Yeah, I normally watch it. So you need to mute YouTube. So if you go back into your YouTube, otherwise the sound carries through because of the delay. And then
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
I
Mute you.
normally watch it. If you watch yourself or do the live from StreamYard, it's
Right.
just the comments that are slightly delayed then.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's about 30 seconds to a minute behind us.
Quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is quite a lot. That's the only thing
Wow.
I would say about it, is it can be quite delayed in terms of for everyone else.
How did you figure all this out?
Um, I do a bit of reselling part time, and
All
some
right.
of the guys I follow who do reselling, they use StreamYard quite a bit, and I'm on their live chats and stuff. So I thought it'd be nice to start doing a regular gardening one, really, and
Yeah,
see
why
if
not?
anyone wants to come on and just
Mm.
have a chat and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's brilliant. I had no idea you could do this.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Really good.
Like
How
I
did you
said,
get the link? You kept putting the link up, didn't you? I was like, what is that? I've
yeah.
never seen that before.
So if you host a StreamYard thing, you get a few options, and one of them is to invite people. So when I click the invite, I just copy the link into the chat then, and then
Right,
anyone
right.
can join. Whoever wants to join can join.
It's clever, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. It's a bit
Clever.
it's a bit nicer when you go in live and just instead of chatting to yourself essentially,
Oh, tell me
there's
about it.
someone
I
else
know,
there.
yeah. I've gone live a couple of times and there's been upwards of 100 people in there and trying to keep up with the messages and there's no one else on the screen. It's
Exactly.
overwhelming. Mm.
Exactly. It's a bit you feel like you have to constantly talk as well, don't you?
Oh, you do, yeah. Yeah, you don't want any gaps, do you? Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
yeah.
How's things with you anyway?
Yeah, really good, mate. Yeah, really good. Just plodding along, doing the old
Yeah.
usual commute back and forth to the allotment plot each week, which is
Yeah.
just tiresome, but I'm still doing it. So
Fair play.
it was. I mean, the trip before the last trip was 6 hours to get there and back. So
6 hours.
six
What?
hours of driving.
One way?
No, no. Well, it was about 2.5 hours there, and then we got caught in rush hour traffic. So in a total, it
Okay.
was 6 hours, but it felt a lot longer, man.
Bloody hell. Fair
You
play.
know.
If anyone else in the chat wants to join in, guys, feel free.
How many did you say you could have in here?
6.
Wow, that's really cool. It reminds me of the old my old days on the PlayStation in the chat
Yeah,
rooms on
that's
there.
it.
You know.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, 6 hours, that's a long time.
So it's too long, mate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Think
I
about
don't drive slow normally. Like, don't get me wrong, I do put my foot down in traffic. It's the M25 normally what does
yeah,
it. You know, it's a car park, isn't it? So,
yeah, that's it.
but I mean, when
And
I'm there, it's worth it. Like, if I leave, what time do I normally leave, Kel? When I go on my own, about 5 a.m. So I do tend to have a full day when I get there. Just to,
yeah,
you know yourself, when you make the videos, you don't have as much time to work. The video
no,
is
that's
half
it.
half the day up here, isn't it? So if
Yeah,
I
and
can
that's
get there early and get a vlog out by midday, I can work the rest of the day, you know, without the camera. So
exactly. I mean, that's
mm,
part of the reason I stopped doing so many this year. Is just I was
mm.
finding I'm getting stuff done.
Yeah,
So it's
that's it,
needed to
yeah.
backseat a bit, and I wasn't going as much because I started a new job and stuff. So
Oh
I
yeah,
wasn't going as much. So I decided to stop doing videos for a bit and then pick it up again next year now.
yeah. Why not, eh? Have
Yeah,
you
that's
changed your channel name?
not recently, no.
No, because I remember the name, but I don't remember the palette in the middle.
Yeah, I did that about a year ago.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was
How have I
about a year
remembered
ago.
that from a year ago? Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I just changed it a bit because I was doing a lot of work with pallets and stuff.
Mm,
My wife said, "Why don't you change it?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it might be a shout."
mm, mm.
What's that allotment nice? I found it easier for me to do a video after I did some graft. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. It is. I normally do about an hour or so before I start doing videos, and then
Mm.
do it normally when I'm taking a break. Then,
Yeah, I've
but
got
then
to do it
in the
before
break,
now because if I don't, I'll end up just not stopping and then there'll be nothing left because I've done it all, you know.
I was going to say, you do enough work when you're down there.
Oh yeah, non-stop. Yeah, yeah.
Crazy. How are the
Yeah.
chickens?
We ain't
They
got him no
still,
more.
they still gone, are they?
Still with Tony. Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
go down and see him on Friday. It's Friday, isn't it? Yeah, this Friday we're gonna drive over to Swindon and check out the setup that he's got him in. He's gonna
Yeah.
keep them. Well, he's gonna keep the bantams because he was a bantam specialist a few years ago.
Okay.
So he's gonna
Oh,
hold on to them, and then the rest of the ones that he's got, I think he said he was gonna dig through his contacts and try and rehome them. But he doesn't want
yeah.
them to just go to anyone. He wants them to go to someone's going to look after them. Because if I'd have left them on my plot, they would have eaten them.
Yeah.
The other allotment people there, so they got no problems with killing them and eating them for food, even though there's no meat on them.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
It was the best thing to do to get someone to look after them. Obviously, it was only meant to be temporary.
Yeah.
But finding an allotment here, I don't know how up to date you are on the videos, but it is just impossible finding an allotment this close
Yeah.
to the sea.
That's it. I mean, I waited 5 years for mine.
Oh, Jesus.
And I kept bringing them up every couple of months to find out. Whereas I think they got fed up of me nagging them.
Yeah, you got to do it though.
You have, but the
Yeah.
worst thing is, like where I am, there's only about 8 plots. I think it is. There's 8 or 9 plots. There's only 3 of them being used, and we've had people come down, like just looking over and asking about plots and stuff. And then when they call up and contact the council, they got to fill in a form, and they're told like there's a 3-year waiting list, 4-year waiting list, and you just think, but nobody's using it.
No
and with
one
our
using them.
council as well,
Yeah.
you've got to specify what site you want to go on. So they only put you on the list for that site.
Oh yeah.
So it's a bit rubbish then. So if there's like, I'm in Barry and there's what, 5 or 6 different sites.
Oh yeah. He is in Barry. Yeah. Your number one place to live.
But yeah,
Kelly loves Barry.
yeah. When did you come down?
When was we there last?
A year and a half.
Was it that long ago? Jesus. Yeah, it was about a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fair play. It's changed a bit now. There's all.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know if you know the waterfront near the island where they started building all the houses.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's come along nicely now.
Oh really?
No, yeah, there's loads of houses down there. They're still building. Yeah, and they put loads of money into the island and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it's all right. I have to come down again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. It's one place we wanted to move to, wasn't it? A couple of years ago. It's still the dream to end up. Yeah, yeah. Definitely. Yeah. It was so when we were so close to London, it was a world away, wasn't it? Whenever we used to go out there for a little break or a little holiday.
Yeah.
It was lovely. Yeah. Yeah. Good fishing as well.
Fair play. Sam's Allotment Diary. I've got 100 plots on our site. Wow. That's a lot.
It's 180 on mine.
180?
180, yeah.
Wow.
It's massive. The site is huge.
That is a lot. How do you find everyone down there? Does everyone get on and stuff?
To be honest, there's a lot of people on the whole site that don't speak English at all. So they're just grafters. A lot of them have got farming backgrounds from mostly India. So they come, they get out their tools and they just dig and they work and they work really hard. So and they're all right. Don't get me wrong. They always come over and try and give you a bit of produce and say hello and that. I'm having difficulties with the English speaking people at the minute. since they did the inspections to see who was going to win the best allotment, what Kelly entered me into, I had no idea about that, and I won it somehow. I won it.
Yeah.
And since then, the people that used to speak to me, that used to be like allotment friends, no longer speak to me. So when they drive past, they put their head down, they completely blank me. I don't know why, but the Indians and that, well, they don't speak much English. They're so friendly, and they work. They really work. And I've gone up there really early before now about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and they're already there. Half their plots already dug over.
Bloody
Jesus Christ! They proper work their socks off. They do.
Do you find this whole family though?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they all chip in as well. I remember one guy wanted manure on his allotment plot, so he enlisted the help of every single Indian bloke that was on the allotment plot, and they all had their wheelbarrows and they all walked up in a line, and literally, it took about 10 minutes to fill his whole 10-pole allotment plot with fresh manure. So,
fair play.
I tried it, but all they got to do is sort of wave, and then everyone knows what's going on. So
yeah,
they've got their own little community, which is really nice. And if I asked for help for something, they would help.
yeah,
but they're old boys, they've been in the game.
yeah.
I mean, I did a recent video, it ain't gone live yet, interviewing and walking around someone else's allotment plot, and he's been there for 30 years.
Wow.
On that same site, and yeah, the sense of community that they've got is brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
So the guy next door to me, he had his plot. Well, he had it for 35 years before he passed away.
Oh,
There's a massive plum tree on his plot, which he planted with his sons, and his son's taking it over now. So, and he's been really good. He's in all fairness, he was really nice when I first started and he was telling me this, that, and the other. And then when I started doing YouTube and stuff, he was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he was helping out and giving me tips, and then I was giving him tips from what I'd pick up. So it was a really good community atmosphere, really.
That's what you want.
Yeah. That's it. Whereas my uncle, where his plot is, they had their own committee, and they had like trouble like you had on your last plot, and it's just not worth the hassle.
Yeah, no, it ain't worth it, mate. We've got a committee on this plot, but they are the number one rule breakers. So the chances of me ever getting involved in anything like that again, I wash my hands with committees. I really do.
Yeah, it's not worth it, is it?
No, it ain't. No, everyone just wanted, on my plot, I'm speaking from my own experience, everyone wanted that little bit of power to be able to walk around and say, you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to tidy this up. And when I started stockpiling wood, you yourself do, pallet projects as well.
Exactly.
As soon as I started stockpiling wood, they brought out a rule the following week saying no plot is allowed to stockpile wood. And I was like, hang on a minute, it's an allotment plot. Like, what are you supposed to do with it? And then they brought out another rule that if you do bring wood onto your allotment plot, it must be used for whatever purpose you got it for within 7 days.
7 days.
It can take 7 days to come up with a plan of what you're going to build with it. So,
and I'm guessing for a lot of them as well, like for me, I work full time, so I only get to go down there like in the summer, in the evenings, and then like my odd day off in the week or weekends. So for me, that would be rubbish.
Oh yeah. A lot of people left when the rules started coming out.
Yeah, I bet.
So many rules, and people just got fed up with it. It took it away from what it was. It's an allotment plot. It shouldn't be full of red tape. I get some rules, like not having a fire when the wind's blowing towards the flats and stuff. That's kind of common sense. But they was there. If you was having a fire, there was someone watching you, making sure that it was being done properly. And if you wanted manure, you weren't allowed to take it. You had to phone the number that was on a stick that was jammed in the pile of manure, and you had to phone him up and say, "I'd like to get some manure, please." And he'd come down. You couldn't take it until he came down.
That's crazy.
And he'd hold his hand out for money, and you'd say you wanted 4 barrels. It went from 20p to £1 within like 6 months of me actually stopping working on the plot. Yeah. And it watched you take 6 barrels to your allotment plot, and once he's satisfied you're not going to take any more, he'd leave. If he was like, "Oh, I want a bit more manure," you had to phone him back up again. What? It's crazy. Do you remember that, Cal?
What's to stop anyone just taking it anyway?
Everyone did in the end. People just lost all will to do it by the rules. They were just helping themselves. But no, it was crazy, mate. Honestly, the amount of rules that came into force was just took it away from what it actually was. Yeah, and if I didn't get kicked off in the end, I would have left 100%.
That's crazy.
That's why they kicked me off initially for the woods. That was in the first warning letter that I got, was no stockpiling woods, and that I'm in breach of stockpiling woods. And when I said, "When did this rule came out?" They said, "Yesterday." It was in the email, and I said I wasn't aware of the rule. And apparently everyone who's got allotments should be up to date with the rules and stuff. But it was solely aimed at me because I had so much wood, I think. On the allotment, they literally wrote this rule because I had so much wood. And
I bet as soon as you left, they all helped themselves.
Oh, of course they did. Yeah,
what you didn't take with you.
Yeah. Well, I did have one friend on the allotment plot who told me that she wanted me to go back down to help distribute the wood that was on the plot among all the other allotment holders. And I said, "Hold on." I said that was one of the reasons I got kicked off for that wood. Yeah. Said, "Oh, everyone's using it. the current chairman's got loads of it, and he's making raised beds with it because it was quite decent wood. It was about a 40-foot by 30-foot deck that someone had put down, within like 3 years or something. So the ends were rotten, but the actual wood was really usable. Like for raised beds and that, it was perfect because it was all free as well. But
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I had plans. I had big plans for those allotment plots. You should see them now, mate. They have well, they're meant to be being worked, but
They just
they're blended in now, and they look like all the other ones that are not being worked. Unfortunately,
that's a sad thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's sod a lot of them, mate.
Yeah. Sam's Allotment Diary's got a question for you in the chat. Will you be doing any more night videos soon? Best laugh watching that upload.
What one was that? The 24 hours on the plot?
I think so. The one where you spent the night there.
That was scary, mate. I didn't want to let you guys know in the video how scary it was, but every noise I heard at night was like, wow. It was awful. I love it. I love it. I recommend everyone should do it, but everyone's got different rules and stuff, isn't they? I mean, I could go with a copy of my tenancy agreement that literally says no fires, no leaving the gates open, no loads of rules, but nowhere on it does it say no access after a set time. So
exactly.
Little loophole.
Ours says 24-hour access.
Well, yeah, that's it. They've probably got an unwritten rule that you're not allowed to live there, but I know people that live in their allotment sheds and have done so for a long, long time. I mean, before I took on an allotment plot on that site, it was a site no one went near because loads of, I don't know how to word it properly, but loads of, what were they, would you say, Kel? Like, without being discriminative. Romanian people? Yeah, Romanian people that had no fixed abode decided that they would permanently move in by breaking into everybody's sheds, arming themselves with tools, and taking up residence over the whole allotment site. It made the news. It made the local newspapers and things like that. And then people were scared to go down to their allotment plot because one guy opened the shed and he got approached by a guy with a crowbar that was like, "Get out of my shed!" and all this kind of stuff. So, it was a bit daunting because I felt that while I was there on my own, once the sun had gone down, I pictured loads of Romanians coming out of their sheds, having their, the sun's gone in, so we can all come out again now. And I pictured them all like taking over the allotment site. But I don't know, you thought to get away with you, mate.
Yeah, it's imagination, isn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, you got the noise from the road as well next to you. So, I mean, I'd like to do it again. I don't want to do it too much and end up, because there are people on that allotment side that don't like me, like at all. That would look for any opportunity to try and see me thrown off. So, I mean, if I don't break the rules, then I'd like to do an overnighter inside the polytunnel within a tent, because then I wouldn't be seen. If I'm inside a tent inside the polytunnel, no one will really see me. But I've got to have the vehicle within the gates to get me there. So we'll see. Have you thought about doing it? Something you would do?
I don't know if it'd work on my plot. With my plot, I'm the first one on our side. We've got houses 3 sides of us. So it starts my plot and then it goes up, but the other 3 sides are all houses. So I don't know if it would work. I'd be terrified though. I've been there before, so I've been there gardening and stuff. It was 2 years ago, and we had some trick or treaters at Halloween at our house.
Oh yeah.
The woman who knocked the door with her kids and that, she was like, "Oh, you've got an allotment on such and such a road, haven't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Oh, did you grow the pumpkin in the window?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Sorry, how did you know?" She was like, "Oh, I saw you. I was watching out my window before." I'm like, all right, that freaked me right out. No, just watching me garden.
Yeah.
It just freaked me right out.
I bet. That's a bit. Well, it's harder when I don't know what your rules are either, to be honest. But it's harder when you're surrounded by houses as well, because it only takes a little bit of torchlight for someone to think you're being burgled, and then call the police, and then you have to explain yourself, I guess.
Yeah. But that's the other good thing, because it is surrounded by houses. We haven't had any trouble at all.
Oh, good.
And you've almost got to go up a slight lane to get to the plots as well. Yeah. So when people ask me where it is and stuff, they're like, "Oh, I didn't know there were plots there," because it is surrounded by houses. You just don't know they're there, sort of thing, which is really good.
That's what you want.
Yeah, and the other side, So there used to be a lot more plots there, but apparently they got overgrown and stuff, so the council closed them off. So they're all like brambles and trees there now. So you can only go up so far. So there's one way in, one way out.
Oh yeah.
One of the women who's got one of the plots, she lives in one of the houses. Her plot's directly behind her house or the next one over. So she just comes out from her garden and straight into the plot. So she doesn't use the main access, which is really good.
It's like just an extension of your garden. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. It's really good. Really good.
Just figured out how to get comments on it.
All right, okay. Yeah, so the comments are slightly delayed as well. So you can either back and forth into YouTube and that, or you can just have a look from there then. What's Allotment Life say? They've had people break into their plots this year and took chickens and cooked them in a neighbouring shed. That's awful.
My God.
There's no guarantee of safety. A site nearby was often raided. Okay. I think with mine as well, so I've started dismantling my shed and I'm going to make a new one because it was leaking, and it was the one I put together. But where the floor was, because it's slightly raised because of the way the plot is, it was slightly raised. So the floor, there was a break in the boards in the floor, so I need to replace the floor. So I had to take the whole thing down anyway. I forgot what to say. Oh yeah, so with my original shed, I normally just leave the shed door open anyway because I'd rather people just walk in, take what they want.
Yeah, rather than break it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I never kept anything in there. It was just like spades and shovels and stuff. There was nothing expensive in there anyway. But I'd rather them just walk in, take what they want, and me not have to fix the door or anything like that, really.
That's the best thing to do.
Yeah. But I know one of the guys on our plot, he's got a petrol mower he's got it in his greenhouse. It's there on display. Anyone walking past would see it, sort of thing. So I think we're all right at the minute on ours. Like I said, touch wood. We've never had any trouble on ours.
That's good. I mean, one of the guys on the old allotment plot built a security shed that he paid. I think it was £800. Did he give for that, Cal? Do you remember? It was a security shed in that it had windows that were not big enough to climb through. The wood it was made from was about an inch thick, and rather than having two hinges on the door, it was a hinge that went the whole way down, and it was fixed on the inside, so it couldn't be unscrewed.
Yeah.
And then for that shed, he bought a brand new Dyson cordless Hoover to keep the shed clean. A brand new petrol mower, strimmer, blower, the works. And he thought because he had a security shed, it would work.
Yeah.
And they still found a way in, still busted the door open. They completely emptied him out. They even took his seeds. He had them all stapled on the wall, so he knew what he was going to plant in that order.
Yeah.
He them off at the lot. But the sheds that weren't brand new and the sheds that weren't security all got left. So because it looked like it was trying to contain something worth money. Yeah. He was the one to get hit, unfortunately. So yeah, definitely leaving it unlocked is I should take my lock off, and I've said that really. I don't want the locals just going in there and helping themselves, you know.
That's the other thing. Like Frank used to be the guy next door. He used to pop in and help himself to the tools, which didn't mind. He'd be like, "Oh, I hope you don't mind. I borrowed this, that, and the other." I'd be like, "No, that's fine."
Put it back, like.
Yeah, he'd put it back. Which was really good, and he'd always leave. Like if I hadn't been there, he'd always leave like veg and stuff in there for us.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
it was really good. Or eggs. Because one of the guys further up had chickens and that, and if they had eggs, which were too many, he'd pop a few in there for me, which was really good. Really
nice.
So it came in handy. So what's your plans for next year then, Joe?
Mulch.
Allotment.
A lot of mulch. I don't know, mate. I guess I need to make it a bit more low maintenance than it already is. No one there is going to water it for me, and I don't expect them to. You know, it's too hot at the end of the day. But Yeah, I've been doing loads of research. I've been watching. What did I watch recently? Yeah, that was it. Back to Eden.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've
With
seen
all
it
the
before, but
steps.
again, if you can get, if I'm not religious, so I have to
Yeah,
watch it and try and skim past all the religious
yeah,
bits. But the actual principles are brilliant, and I know I've got beds as opposed to growing directly in the ground. But even so, doing more research, you can still mulch a bed to the
yeah.
point where it doesn't need water,
Yeah.
providing it's in contact with the earth. So trial and error, Nat. I think next year,
That's that's
a
all
lot of
gardening
trial and
is.
error.
That's how I live. That's how I do my gardening.
Yeah,
Pop it in, see what happens.
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I mean, the trickiest part is going to try and create the right balance, because some things are going to require more acid, for example, and some
Yeah,
things are not going to like it. So, um, yeah, trying to create the right environment so I can put something in, give it a drink, and then leave it for a month. If I
yeah,
need it. Um, and that's it. I've put cameras up in the trees now, just because I know people on the site are aware I'm not there as often, so I wouldn't want
yeah,
anyone to sort of sabotage it. By if I had like a water tank that went to like a siphon hose, I wouldn't want someone to come and cut the hose. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah, just trying to make it as low maintenance as possible, and still get an abundance of food, and obviously still be able to make the vlogs and things like that. Because
yeah,
not getting there as often, yourself, like we spoke about earlier, when I do get there, it's like, right, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do this, but I've also got to make the vlogs. And what I've had to do recently is make 2 or 3 vlogs in one day, because I'm
yeah,
only there for one day. And I
yeah.
set up the camera and I start vlogging, and there's not been as much garden related content because it's autumn and there's not a lot to do.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't, I don't have allotments I dig, so there's no, sped up footage of me digging and turning like on the old allotment plot. It's literally, I'm just going to mulch the top of it and go home. It's so low maintenance. It's almost
Yeah,
too easy. But yeah, I don't know. I've got some garlic in. I've got some onions in, and
yeah,
the kale's still growing.
mhm,
Apart from that, it's cleaning the polytunnel down inside and
yeah,
out, and getting fresh wood chip for the entire allotment plot,
yeah,
and creating some kind of leaf mold and mulch to go on top of all the beds.
mhm,
And then that's it, I guess. Just putting it to bed until probably the end of January. I'll probably start getting in the polytunnel and
yeah,
putting in some seeds and things. But that seems a long way off right now. We always get long winters, don't we? So
yeah.
I don't know. What's your plans?
I need to. I want to move my asparagus, as I was saying earlier.
Oh yeah.
That's sort of on the walkway between the two plots, and it just keeps getting knocked and stuff. So I want to move that. But other than
What
that, I
year
just
is
want.
that in now?
I think it's in his fourth.
Oh really? I see.
It's
You're getting
either
what?
yeah, we're getting a. It's only a
Oh
small.
right.
We're only getting like a couple of spears,
Yeah.
but it grows every year,
Mm.
and it grows really well. In all fairness, we're getting there's 4 crowns. I think it's either 3 or 4 crowns in there. So they're doing all right.
Mm.
But when in the winter and that, I normally cut them back sort of mid-November, end of November once they finished dying off.
Mm.
But in between, with all the wind and stuff, because we are so close to the beach and stuff, it's quite windy.
Yeah.
They just kept getting blown over and damaged. So I don't think they grow into their full potential because of that. So I
Yeah.
want
That
to
makes
move
sense.
them in a bit. So when they're not getting knocked when the guy next door walking past, and just to shelter them a bit from the wind.
Yeah.
But the plan is next year to get the plot in shape. And then the year after, I'm thinking about getting bees.
Oh really?
Yeah, I quite
Oh,
fancy bees. There's a woman at the top. She used to have them,
mm.
and then she had a few things happen, and she neglected the plot and stuff just because of life reasons and stuff, and lost the bees. But I
Oh.
think there's a bee's nest at the back of my plot. There's I call it no man's land.
Mm-hmm.
So the house behind where my plot is, when there was a developer who bought it or a builder, and he
Right.
got it, and because my plot was empty at the time, he put a makeshift fence in. So he took about 5 foot of my plot, put a
Oh,
fence in,
wow.
and dumped everything in there.
Oh, what?
So it's all wood, bricks, there's asbestos and all sorts in there, and it's
Cheeky.
all overgrown and stuff. but amongst it, there's a wasp's nest in there, I think it is, or a bee's nest in there because they keep coming out of it. So I want to build somewhere so they've got somewhere to go really, and then we can possibly, if we get honeybees, we can have some honey as well.
Sounds really good, mate. Sounds
Yeah,
really good.
good. I don't know if there's a guy on YouTube, Tony, what's his channel called?
Steve Smith?
No. Oh my god, I can't remember his name. He's in Caerphilly area, I think. Tony. Oh, he's got like 20,000 subscribers. I can't remember his name now.
I can't think.
But he's got he rehomes bees.
Oh, really?
So he did a course on keeping bees, and he keeps his own bees. And then he started rehoming them as well. So if people have got them in there, like I don't know, in their windows or their chimney breasts and stuff, rehome them. So yeah, I was thinking about contacting him and getting him down to have a look at where it'd be best to place them. So if I do that next year, it means that they can. Yeah, UK Here We Grow. Thank you, Allotment Life. UK Here We Grow.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So just where base to place the bees. So when I'm reorganizing the plot next year, I can have that in mind and have a space for them. That's the plan anyway. Whether it happens or not is another thing.
Yeah. We're not allowed bees in our allotment plot.
You know,
one of the rules. But yeah, someone apparently had them years ago. And I don't know what happened, but someone went in and didn't know what they were, started fiddling around with it and got stung quite badly. And since then, they wrote a rule you're not allowed to have bees.
I'm not being funny. That's their own fault.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
If it's buzzing, don't near it.
I know.
Starts buzzing, these little flying things come out. You'd sort of step away, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you're a normal person, would you? Yeah, it is a shame. I like the thought of having bees, but I don't know. One of my fears is wasps. So I don't know. I know bees and wasps are not the same thing, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's been one of my fears. You know, even now, if I see a wasp, I run. Even in some of the vlogs, I edit it out. I don't know. I mean, a friend of mine set up something for bees, and before they got the bees, wasps moved in, and I thought, oh my god. That's put me right off, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
As long as you got the suit on and that, and as long as you're not trying to.
No, yeah. I mean, if you knew
right.
what you were doing, yeah. But I'm just not that confident around them, to be honest. I think that's
the thing, isn't it? It's like with any animals, having the confidence with them.
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I've ordered the manure for the plot as well, so that's coming in. I think it's 2 weeks' time. That's coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've got a horse farm nearby. So you guys know with Barry, it's quite rural around it. So we've got a lot of farms and stuff. One of the horse farms, they do it's £5 for £5 for delivery, and the manure is free. And they'll bring it to the plot and drop it off. It is fresh manure, but normally you just stick it in the composters or the storage area, leave it for a year, and it's good to go then for the following year, which is really good. And for £5, and it's a trailer full.
That's cheap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cheap. And the council then, they used to do free compost, the council.
Oh, really?
So from the food waste from the Vale of Glamorgan, used to be the last Sunday of every month, you used to be able to go to one of the council depots and collect it. So you'd have to bag it all yourself and transport it, but you can collect as much as you want. But they stopped doing the compost, but they do free wood chips.
Oh yeah.
So they so we get free wood chips as well, which I use for the mulch and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is really good. It's all about doing it on the cheap, isn't it?
Definitely, mate. Yeah, definitely.
Because I've gone along the principle now that if it's cheap enough to buy in the shops, then I'm not necessarily going to grow it myself. I know it tastes different and stuff, but like parsnips, I had a hell of an issue with parsnips a couple of years ago, and I won't grow them again. I don't know if you know, there's the enzyme in the stem and the leaves. I dug mine up in the summer because we had enough over Christmas and that. We dug them up in the summer, breaking all the stems and the leaves. There's an enzyme in them that reacts with sunlight, and I came up with all these boils, with like blisters all over my hands and my arms where the enzyme had gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was awful.
You knew that,
From the wild ones as well, but like the wild.
Oh, the ones that grow just out in the parks and stuff.
Yeah.
You can get it from that as well, really
wow.
badly. And it can affect dogs.
Yeah.
Check you out.
It's like hogweed, like a hogweed burn.
Oh yeah.
It's like it comes up like that.
Jesus.
It's awful. Really bad.
Wow.
So I won't grow them again anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's cheap enough, I'll buy it in the shops. But certain stuff just tastes better, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Absolutely does. Yeah. Absolutely.
Brian, Allotment Life. We lost a lot of our manure. Oh, we lost a lot of our manure delivery. Where's that gone? A plot holder has found banging up and selling it. Bloody hell. How much were they selling it for, Brian? I don't know if you saw that Allotment Life's comment. Someone was bagging it up. That's awful.
Speaking.
Remember those outsiders that used to try and come in?
I do, yeah. On the old allotment plot, they used to come in from outside when the gates was open and steal all the manure to use in their gardens. I challenged one of the guys. I said, "Excuse me, mate, have you got an allotment here?" And he squared up to me, got face to face with me, tried to fight me, and I said, "Just look, mate." I said, "Just leave." And he said, "I'm not leaving without the manure." Over manure, yeah. I said, "Mate, you've got to leave." I said, "You should be in here." I said, "It's technically private property." And he was like, "I'll get my manure and then I'll off out of it." And I was like, "No, you can leave that behind, mate." He's like, "No, I've already bagged it up. I'm taking it. I've got a flower bed in my garden that needs it." I said, "Well, go B&Q and buy it, mate. This is for us." Like, but he was having none of it. He really wanted to fight. He really wanted that manure. I think he got one bag and I locked him out and I wouldn't let him back.
That is bad.
I know. They did try it though, didn't they?
See you later, Sam. Sam's off. That is bad because you can get just take a picture of the registration plate and report it to the police.
He lived on the same road, I think. He was like, "No, my friend had an allotment here 15 years ago, so I'm entitled to it." And I said, "Mate, it's not how it works. Like, you can't just take it because you knew someone that had a plot. Oh, you and your rules."
That's shocking.
I know. I wouldn't dream of it. It's like, even when I've gone to view allotments, unless I'm welcomed in, I won't just drive in because I always feel like it's rude, unless you're being accompanied by someone.
There's a lot of allotments near here where there's no gates and stuff. People can just walk through. So they're on like
what?
They're on like what you call it? Like public not walkways, like
byways, access paths and
stuff. So they're all through the fields and stuff. There's just allotments of them. So anyone can just walk in and have a look around and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's nice, like where you are, but being that close to London, if people come in, they struggle to get them to leave.
That is bad.
Different world, mate. It really is. Different world. The other month, could I? Because one of the cars on our main road where we live got stolen, and it got dumped at the allotment gate, and the police had taped it all off. And
I remember seeing that on your post.
Yeah, I went in. I said, "I need to go feed the chickens," and and I reckon if the gate was left open, they'd have stored the car inside because the car was trying to be hidden. To them, they were going to come back later on apparently and take it. So I'm not sure whether they drove up to the gates expecting to be able to drive in and then sort of exit or something. But no, I definitely locked the gate. Man, dear, you locked everything up, didn't you? Absolutely everything.
Oh, no, not around here.
Well, not here. No, I still feel like we live where we live, but no, even here is a different world.
Yeah.
Like, people pop into the shop and leave their cars running, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Like, you're crazy. What?" Like.
The other day that got on this big super bike and went into Greg's.
Oh no, yeah, he left it running. I know, in Christchurch, Street near where we live. There's a Hayabusa or something. It's like a £14,000 super bike, and he's just left it, helmet on it, engine running, just sitting in neutral, and he's lining up in Greg's like, I don't know, 10 shops away and getting sausage roll. I thought if that was where we just moved from, that would have been gone like that. Like even I'd have considered it would have been gone so quick. Yeah, different worlds.
I don't know if it'd be still there around here though.
Oh really?
Yeah, I gotta be fair. Not sure that would still be there. It's opportunist though, isn't it?
Definitely.
I think they're all too old, Randy.
They are, yeah. It's sleeping down here, isn't it? I know, yeah.
Have you settled in all right down there now?
We settled in within days, yeah. It's really weird. I think it's just relief of getting out of where we was, I think.
Yeah.
Love it, mate. Absolutely love it. I mean, people around here, my one thing that I hate about the area is people can't drive. I've nearly had the car hit about 10 times so far.
Really?
Not paying attention. A lot of people around here are elderly. I don't need to discriminate, but they are. It's a fact.
Yeah.
You come here when you retire, and you've got people that shouldn't be driving that are still driving that don't know that roundabouts work. So yeah, I've had a few near misses recently, a lot more than back home. But apart from that, after I don't know 8 p.m, you can go anywhere. Roads are dead. There's no one driving about. It's so quiet. They turn all the street lights off. There's no street lights outside of this close. It's just so weird. It's just really quiet. I mean, where we just moved from, it was in between Slough and Windsor.
Okay.
And it was just so busy, constantly busy, hustle and bustle. You got gangs everywhere. Just really loud, whereas I don't know, it's a different world. Different world. Kind of just, I don't know, you kind of start slowing down yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, that's it.
It's pretty nice, mate, yeah.
One of my sister's ex-boyfriends, he was in the Met Police, and he used to love coming down here just because he said it's so different and like everyone's so friendly. Like you walk down the street and people smile and say hello and stuff like that. Whereas, he said you'd be lucky if someone didn't just give you a look and stuff like that.
You smile at someone where we just came from, that confused them for the rest of the day. When I first started coming down here a couple of years ago, just for fishing trips and that, and I'm walking down the street, just walking down the street normally, and people are like, "Oh, hi, you having a good day?" And I'm looking like, "Oh, you talking to me?" Like, "Oh yeah, I'm having a really good day. Yeah, how about yourself? How you doing?" Really weird how people talk to you and stuff. But nice.
But getting used to then.
Definitely.
Brian, my wife is a good driver, no license, but she drives me around the bend. I like it. So have you got planned for the rest of the week then? You down the plot at all or?
No. We're going to see Tony on Friday. I know that much. It was either going to be Wednesday or Friday. I think we chose Friday because those were the two free days. And then we're going. Is it the week after we're going to Devon? Yeah, it is Devon. Yeah, little break in Devon.
Nice. Yeah.
Just to get away, and Kelly's found something really cheap. What was it? 4 nights? 4 nights.
4 nights,
£99.
That's good.
Yeah. When it was half term, it was like 300 quid. So because it's all quieting down, it's just a nice cheap little break. So to change the scenery.
Don't mind wrapping up all the back walks.
No, yeah, put your winter coat on. It don't really matter then, does it? It's just nice to go to different places and that. So
yeah. If it's that cheap as well, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was going to convert the van this week as well because it's been up for sale for ages. And although people wanted it, they didn't want it. Someone come and viewed it and said it was too big to drive but too small inside, which I still don't understand what they meant by that. They said it would have been like driving a bus because it's too big. And then when I opened the door, the lady said, "Oh, it's very small inside here." I said, "Like, what did you expect? Like Narnia?" Like when I opened the door.
Yeah.
He said, "No, it's too small inside, but too big to drive, so not what I'm looking for." And when you're selling things online, you get loads of people inquire and then they don't turn up. And I put it through its MOT. Had a little bit of work done to it, and then I've just decided if I can't sell it for what I want, I may as well keep it.
I
can put it back as a little bit of a camper van, put a bed in there and stuff like that. Not crazy on it. It's still fully insulated and it's got solar. It just means I can go, well, even to the allotment plot or to Wales and actually have somewhere to get my head down for the night, sort of thing, without having to pay for DMPs and sort of stuff. That might roughly man. Although it's only a Vito, it's big enough for one person. I mean, when we first converted it, me, Kelly, and Otis was going away. There's a lot of arguments. I'll be honest, because there's lack of space. But no, I would like to turn that back into, I don't know, some kind of, even if it's just a bed in there or something. Which I might do this week. Still needs a bit of work doing on it. Nothing major. But yeah, I'd rather not let it go for peanuts. I mean, I knew someone that had a van that they bought. I think they give 800 quid for it, and just for a laugh, they put it into We Buy Any Car or WeBuyAnyVan.com.
Oh yeah.
And it came back that they'd offer him 50 quid. So he was like laughing at that, and he clicked, go ahead. And it said our admin fee is 50 quid, so we can come and collect the van and give you nothing. So, I refused to let that van go for a couple of hundred quid, So
yeah, not
right.
No good then, is it? That's harsh. 50 quid.
I know.
Fair play.
Mm-hmm.
My wife couldn't believe how friendly people are in the northeast. We speak lovely to anyone, even the police. Oh, fair play. I can't believe I've been doing this for an hour and a half now. That's crazy.
Goes quick, doesn't it?
It does.
Said, how do you find growing your crops so close to the sea? Because obviously you've got the salt in the air and things like that, as well as the wind, like you mentioned earlier.
The wind can be an issue in terms of like our runner beans and stuff. They're always getting blown over, or you've got to make sure that like the frame is really sturdy and stuff. But other than that, it's not too bad at all. The salt in the air doesn't really affect anything. My plot's probably five or so minutes away from the sea, so it's not too bad. But there are some plots that are right on the cliff tops, and they suffer really bad with the wind. Like they've got sunflowers that are always looking really sad and blown over and stuff.
Oh.
So everything's always windswept down by there. But where we are, it's not too bad. Like I said, because we got the houses 3 sides of us. It is windy, but they take the brunt of it. It's not that bad, really, down there. But the ones on the cliff tops, they do suffer quite badly with it. Really bad. But yeah, it's not too bad at all. We've never had any major issues. Not like you can't grow anything. The only thing we've had issues with wood lice this year, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, I see the comments, and I was trying to set this thing up on there. Yeah, you seem to have a few of them, didn't you?
Yeah, there's quite a few. But I think Allotment Life was saying about the decay and stuff in the ground. So we had parsnips in there the year before, and we just couldn't dig the roots out and stuff. So I'm wondering all the tails of them. So I'm wondering if it's that.
Yeah,
the issue. So I think over the winter or early spring, I'll dig that one completely over and maybe separate it all out to the other beds and bring in new compost for it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll see how much we get and stuff, really.
Yeah.
But other than that, we don't really have any issues. We did have, when I first got it, we had a massive slug and snail problem. I mean, massive. But over the last couple of years, we started winning the war with them. But when I first got it, couldn't grow any lettuce or anything leafy. They just destroy it within a couple of days.
Yeah.
No chance to even get going, really. It would just annihilate them. Like I was picking, when I had my beer traps, I had about 5 beer traps down, and I was picking about 200 to 300 slugs and snails out.
Jesus.
Every few days, every week. Yeah, it was really bad. I think where the plot hadn't been used for a couple of years, they just had time to breed and just go wild.
Yeah.
It was wild. The last person had strawberries in there, and they had across the whole plot, so they just went absolutely wild. So, but yeah, other than that, hasn't been too bad at all. Just lack of enthusiasm to get going, really. That's the biggest thing.
Hard to get motivated, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Especially when you're busy, you know,
Yeah.
you've got other things going on.
That's the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
Like this weekend, I had last week off. I was doing some DIY in the house, so I didn't get down there all week just because I was doing stuff in the house and that. Oh, the time I finished, I was so tired, and so I was just like, I just can't be bothered, even to just go have a look and stuff.
Yeah.
But the guy next door, he's pretty good. He normally keeps an eye on stuff, and I've told him he can help himself because we were getting so many strawberries and raspberries and that. I've told him just to help himself and the rhubarb as well. So yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad. Found upturned grapefruit skins work great for slugs. Now that's interesting. I haven't tried that. I don't really like grapefruit though, so don't know. I'm
I've
gonna
never heard that before.
no,
Upturned grapefruit skins. I never knew that.
no. It's amazing though. Speaking to people, the amount of knowledge or different techniques that they use.
Oh yeah, you can learn
Yeah,
from everyone, can't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
A guy I used to work with, he was telling me, I was eating pistachio nuts in work one day, and he was like, "Oh, you want to grind the shells up and sprinkle them over your allotment? That'll stop your slugs and snails." And it does work. Just grind them up. They're sharp. It stops. It's like wood chips.
Yeah.
Stops them
Yeah.
traveling. And he was like, "Oh yeah, we use them in our garden all the time."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, fair play." So it's just the amount of different techniques people use is unreal.
How would the upturned grapefruit skins work? Would it just be that they don't like grapefruit, or would you put something in the skin? Or I'm just curious now because I've never heard that before.
And what do they do? Just take shelter in them?
Yeah, yeah. Could well do.
Pungent now.
They are pungent, yeah.
Yeah,
It gives off some sort of acid that they don't like.
It could well do, yeah.
yeah, possibly. Because someone else was saying go round at night with a torch.
We
I was like,
used,
I'm not doing that.
yeah, we used.
Especially after seeing your last video with it.
Just don't do it on your own.
And they go for the pith.
Oh yeah,
That's interesting.
did not know that.
No, I didn't know that. Does that work with oranges as well then? Or anything like with the pith?
Good question.
I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. How did your I haven't been on YouTube for a while. How did your pumpkins go?
Who, mine?
Yeah, you know your giant pumpkin you were growing?
Oh yeah, I only got one in the end. And because it was in a pot and I couldn't water it or feed it, and it kind of looked after itself. I mean, it still got quite big, but what would you say that was? I wouldn't even like to hazard a guess. It was bigger than any of the ones I'd seen in the shop, but it was no
Okay.
giant.
Yeah.
But no water. I mean, that pumpkin went at least 5 weeks in a pot with no water. So much so that all the compost from the edge of the pot drew in about 4 inches. I could get my whole hand outside of it.
Yeah.
And it's still produced. It just got a little bit scabby.
Okay.
Next year, that I'm definitely going in for the kill with a big pumpkin.
Yeah.
I reckon I'm going to set up a drip feeder, so it's getting 24 24/7 feed, and we're going to go for something that I'm going for a record of something I can't lift. If I can't lift it off the floor, then I've succeeded. But I don't know. There's a lot of seeds out there as well that are fake. You know, you can see seeds online that are like American seed and speciality F1, and you get it, and it's just a generic Big Macs from Wilco's.
Yeah, that's it.
It's still produced, but it's not going to be something you're going to need to get a forklift underneath.
No, that's it. You want to get one from someone that's already grown a big one.
Definitely. Yeah.
I don't know anyone who would do that because the Atlantic Giant's meant to be the biggest, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah. There was a guy when I did one of the horticultural shows and entered in some stuff. The guy that actually won the overall event actually gave out seeds from his giant marrow.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he didn't. He did plants. He basically sowed the seeds and gave everybody a plant.
Yeah.
the following year he won again, and what everyone worked out is that he gave himself the best plant. He just wanted a little bit of competition, but he didn't want to give over the biggest, healthiest plant. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you can find someone that's grown a giant and is willing to give you some seeds or even sell you seeds, that's definitely the way to do it, rather than going on eBay. Because there was who was the guy on YouTube who does really well for growing giant vegetables? He's in the north of England as well, I think he is. He's got another channel which is pottery.
I don't know.
What's his name?
Shows a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does a lot of shows, a lot of agricultural shows. Does really well.
Is it
My mind has just gone tonight. Something Diary, is it?
Allotment Diary?
That sounds right. Yeah, yeah. He had.
He's normally got a horse in the next field or something.
That's it.
Yeah, I know.
He had all these thumbnails stolen, and someone was putting them on their eBay listings for seeds.
Yeah,
Which
okay.
was quite a stir because people were buying them thinking it was him selling his giant seeds off. And
Yeah.
it was just generic eBay seed being sold with his face on it. That was quite a stir on social media as well. Everyone was advising people not to buy it because it has all been cloned.
Yeah.
He does seed. He does actually sell off the seed from his
Yeah, he does.
giants. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if we can dig a big enough hole and get something in, I would like to do something giant, but I don't want to do too much again. It's like what you were saying earlier in the comments. You start putting too much in, like tomatoes, for example, they get away from you. You need to be on point with it. Otherwise, they just they just take over a greenhouse or a polytunnel. I'd still like the idea of growing an abundance of food, but not necessarily so much variety.
Yeah.
Fruit tomatoes, like you said, I'd like the idea of doing some cherries, possibly some beefsteaks, but nothing in between.
Yeah.
Having 7 different varieties that are doing or growing at different rates, they're producing at different times.
It's hard to keep track of.
Yes, definitely. And the same with the potatoes, because that was a bit of an experiment this year as well. Trying to show what would do better, cheap versus dear. And although it's fun to make, and I learned from doing things like that, at the end of it, because some of the experiment didn't quite work, you kind of done yourself out of a lot of potatoes for going over, So, I mean, we've got potatoes in the kitchen, pretty much what was left at the allotment plot, and the majority of them are tiny. Not something you could peel, for example. Whereas next year, I think if we just went with a main crop, and an early variety, and we just did 20 buckets of each, and they all had the same feed, we'd get a good yield, something to sustain us. Same with the onions as well, rather than doing different varieties and different variations, just get as many as of one variety as you can and stick them in. But
I suppose it's finding that variety as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But then you've got to have variety when you're doing the YouTube videos, because you can quite easily do one variety of potato and turn it out. But then what's the next video? Another reveal of the same variety of potato. It's the same as the last one you just done. I don't know. It's just finding a happy medium. The food definitely tastes better on the allotment plot, 100%.
Does.
I don't eat tomatoes unless they're grown, whether I've grown them or someone I know has grown them, because the ones in the supermarkets, I just don't think have any flavour.
No, exactly.
Yeah, things like that, definitely.
It's like, for me, the biggest turning point for me was sweet corn. I never used to eat it. I hated sweet corn.
Really?
Yeah, I never used to like it at all. And my wife asked me to grow it the one year, so I grew it. And she's like, try it. And I was like, I don't want to. But begrudgingly, I did. And I love it. I absolutely love the stuff now. It's a tough to grow, but I absolutely love it. That was my turning point, I think.
Yeah. When it's fresh straight off the plant, I walk around and eat that stuff raw. Just the rats that keep killing it. We didn't get any this year because I got the seeds in so late. And by the time they germinated, they just looked like little strands of grass. So I just scrapped it. No point putting them in and putting the care in. We're 4 months behind now. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sweet corn definitely a winner. And you get that height on the allotment plot as well, didn't you? Quite nice.
Going back to what you're saying about the giant veg, do you ever used to watch that Allotment Wars program that was on a few years ago?
Yes.
And the guy who grew his carrots in drain pipes on the side of his house.
Oh yeah,
It's nuts. That's the sort of stuff you want, but
Yeah.
obviously not them.
That's it. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Not a lot about allotments at the moment, is there? There used to be a few shows on TV and stuff, didn't there,
Yeah.
back in the day? But there's not a lot on it at the moment.
No, not at all.
I mean, even when I used to watch Gardener's World, I don't really watch it that much anymore. Yeah, he used to have. I swear, he used to have a longer feature for growing your own food and stuff. I
Yeah,
saw
he did.
a large chunk of the show, whereas on the last ones for this year, it was like 3 minutes of grow your own, and I was like, a lot of people are still interested in it. There's a lot of people that want to get
Yeah.
involved, and I feel there should be more on TV to advertise it.
They reckon there's going to be a surge in allotments if we leave, and I don't want to talk really about it, but with Brexit,
Yeah.
with us, if we do leave, there's on about there's going to be a big surge in it because people are so worried they're not going to be able to get their fruit and veg that a lot of people are going to be growing their own in their gardens and stuff, and allotments are going to like boom again, really. So the waiting list will become even bigger, and there'll be more rules for all the plots and stuff, because there'll be that much of a demand for it.
I mean, I don't know if there will be. Like, I like to think that not a lot would change because we survived before we joined, and we'll survive again after. I mean, if
Exactly.
you start getting allotments for the right reasons for growing your own food,
scaremongering, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I do think if everyone started actually saying their bit as to why they wanted one, why they felt it was so important they had one, etc. And there would come a point because there's so much land in the UK, and I know so much of it is protected, but there would come a point where they'd have to start putting more in.
Sorry, the cat's attacking me.
Yeah, I've got one down here as well.
Yeah, she's.
I mean, there's lots here, but there's just not many of them, is there?
Yeah.
Allotment plots around here. It's got like 10 plots on it, and there's not another allotment site for 7 miles.
Bloody hell.
No.
No,
That's everywhere, mate.
I know. She's a little man.
Who's this?
Oh.
Who's that? Hey.
Oh, you don't look happy.
Luna, you can do anything you want with her. Just put her on your shoulder. She just stays there. It's like a little dog.
Our boys are like that. We've got one that's a cross Bengal. Between a tabby and a Bengal. And he's the most placid thing ever. You can stroke his belly, you can literally do anything, and he won't bat an eyelid.
Oh, wow.
She is just like a woman. Sorry. She's so temperamental.
The opposite. We got brother and sister, and the boy, he's just too independent. You try and turn him on his back, he starts trying to scratch you, he's meowing. He's lovely, but he's got to come to you. You know, if he wants to be stroked, he'll let you know.
Yeah.
Where you can just, no matter what she's doing, you can just pick her up and walk around with her. And she just stays there.
I love it.
Yeah.
Really having the plots. I know some Allotment Life Brian has just said they're having the plots because of the demand down with them. That's crazy.
Oh, right.
I know some of our plots people do have them, or you can share them and stuff.
Oh, as in halving the actual plot itself. Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah. They did that on the old plot. They do it on this plot as well, just to try and accommodate more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big are your plots then?
Well, on my site?
Yeah.
Oh my God. They're not measured, but they are measured. But one of the plots that's meant to be 10 pole is the equivalent of about 40 pole. It's like a small field. The plots on the older allotment plot were measured what I think is correct. So I kind of can picture what a 10 pole allotment plot looks like.
Yeah.
I've got 9 pole technically. Yet the guy opposite has got a 10 pole plot. Is about 4 times as big as mine. I've recently just made a video of walking around all the allotment plots that's due to go up that shows that, because there's so many on there that are not currently being worked because they've been sectioned off for the smart motorway that's being built next door.
Yeah.
So they're basically red taped about a third of the site. They are massive, like massive. I mean, one of the guys that I just went and walked around his plot, his shed was 27 feet long.
27 feet?
27 feet long, and you could barely see it from the road because his plot's so big.
Wow.
Yeah, 27 feet.
Yeah.
Huge.
That is massive.
Mm.
Because we're
Yeah.
restricted. Molly, that's not helpful. We're restricted on our site on how big a shed you can have.
Oh yeah.
We can have, I think it's a 8x6 or 8x10.
That's pretty standard now, that rule. That
Yeah,
was on the last plot as well. No, on this site, you can honestly do what you want. You can
wow.
build as many sheds as you like, be it out of brick, wood,
Yeah.
whatever you choose, asbestos, whatever you like.
You've got a couple on your site, haven't you? If I've seen it in your videos where they're like giant greenhouses,
Oh yeah,
pretty much
DIY one.
lot,
Yeah.
or the majority
Well,
of the lot.
one of the greenhouses on there, that's all made out of recycled windows. That's 30 feet long. That's bigger than the polytunnel that's opposite ours. Massive.
Wow. That's
And then we got the shed on there. Some guy gave £5,000 to a company to come build a shed for him.
yeah,
And they fully insulated it. They put electric in there through solar. He's got a camp bed in there, a kitchen, running water, like the full works.
wow,
And there are rules, but they're just not enforced
yeah,
at all. You can do what you want on that site. I can park my van on my plot and walk
yeah.
over to my shed that's got a bed in it and take a kip, and no one really gives a toss,
Just
really.
gonna say, does that guy live in his shed then with all the electric and stuff?
He does in summer, apparently. He spends the warm nights, he sleeps there, basically.
Oh,
Has a
okay.
few beers rather than driving home, just sleeps
Yeah,
in the shed. But because it's all self-contained, he's got a fence the whole way around it, and then
yeah,
he's got a secondary fence around the shed. Even if you was on site, you wouldn't really know if he was there or not, because he's
yeah,
also got curtains and things, so it's quite private. Versus me walking around after a few beers with a torch, just a bit, is it being burgled? But you can sort of do what you want. The plan
yeah,
was to do a massive shed on that allotment site originally. Something, I say massive. I was thinking about 14 foot by 12 foot. Something
yeah,
that I can comfortably get a sofa in and a little kitchenette or something. But
yeah.
since moving up here, or down here rather, I keep saying up. That it's just too far to put in that amount of investment, time, money, work.
Yeah, that's it.
I could just sleep in the van, really.
Yeah,
But no, I mean the future dream and goal is to one day get a little slice of land that I can maybe build something on or put a caravan on and
yeah,
basically work my socks off 12 hours a day and then have somewhere to crash
yeah.
legally. I want to try and do things right, and then obviously the end goal is a small holding where we can,
That's what I want.
living from the
Yeah,
land.
I love animals.
Mm.
So I want like sheep. I want a couple of dogs, cats,
Yeah.
chickens, ducks,
Yeah,
goats. She's not so keen on it at the minute.
same.
I'm working on it. I'm
Same
working.
problem. Kelly was all for it until we moved here, because it's a lovely house, bit
Yeah,
dated, but it's just lovely. And I said to her today, in fact, how would you feel if we just all of a sudden became, became in a position where we could buy land? Would you still come with me, providing we'd end up probably in a caravan that initially didn't have any electric, didn't have a toilet? When you're comparing that rough style living to what we've got here, I think I would need to spend 6 months to a year trying to turn it into somewhere a bit more comfortable, and then I'd have to come back and get Kelly and drag her to the small old
yeah,
gym until she felt more comfortable. But we both love animals as well now,
mm,
and the idea of having little, dogs running around and
yeah,
sheep and pygmy goat—that's something you've always wanted, isn't it? A little pygmy goat. That's just a dream, that these people that strive to get the fast cars and the penthouses and living in cities, and we want the complete opposite of that. We just want to get away and live in the sticks with
yeah.
animals and a camera, so we can still do YouTube and show you guys what we're growing.
So, and I was going to say, Brian was saying they've got to cultivate 75% of their plot, and ours is quite similar. We've got the majority of our plot has to be in use for growing fruit and veg. You can't just build stuff on it, unfortunately.
We don't have that rule. We had it on the last one. We don't have it on this one. You can do what you want. If you want to shingle the whole thing and put one pot down on a 10-pole plot, you can.
That's crazy.
I know it's nice to have the freedom, and
Yeah.
like I said earlier, a lot of them are Indian farmers, and
Mhm.
they don't really abuse the rules. They don't like if
Yeah.
they've got a 10-pole plot, they'll dig it end to end, and they'll make use of the land. So
That's
that's
good.
probably why a lot of the rules are overlooked, because people do work it. It is
Yeah.
such a productive environment. You go there, spring, summer, autumn, winter. It is busy. It's always busy. You're never alone, unless obviously it's after midnight, and you shouldn't really be there anyway.
Yeah.
But no, it is really, really productive, isn't it? It's probably why we get away with a lot.
Because you've got a shop on your site as well, haven't you? An allotment shop.
No, that was on the old site.
It was the old one, was it?
Yeah. No, there's meant to be a shop on this site, but the committee use it to. Can I tell him? It's a bit naughty, but the committee used the shop. I've never been in the shop now because it's not open to people, because they use it to use the electricity for free, because they've got grow lights up in there because they want to grow their own stuff, shall we say, inside the building. So it does say there's a shop in there, but I've never ever seen it open.
Yeah.
Lights from inside there, all the grow lights that they've got going on, and I've spoken to people and they've said, "Oh, it's free electricity. Let the council pay for it and stuff like that." But no, I don't know. I don't even know what's in there. I'm tempted now to go have a look what's in there.
Can't be in there.
It's fenced off with 8-foot barbed wire fencing the whole way around, so you would need to go in with somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one likes
That's
it.
crazy.
No one likes me anymore. I'm showing them all up.
It's interesting though what people do on their plots.
Mm.
Like I used to help out. I used to do some volunteer work for a homeless charity. They had an allotment that the council gave to them, allotment plots. I used to help out and basically be like a general sort of keeper of it. And then they'd bring guys down to work the land. They'd have the fruit and the veg and stuff from it. But on that site, they used to have they called it an allotment shop, but it was just places where people could put their their excess produce, and then other people could swap it and change it and stuff.
Right.
And there was a couple of different charities on that site, and the one charity, when I first started, they were like, "Just don't take their veg, just don't take it," and I'd be like, "Why? Why not?" So I think just swap it, and they're like, "Well, they had a toilet on their site, but they used to use the manure, should we say?"
Yeah.
On their plot.
For the crop.
Yeah. So human waste on it. And I'm like, all right, yeah.
Traditional, but no thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And they're like, oh, nobody ever wants our stuff. And it's like, oh, right, okay.
Oh, God.
So it is funny what different people do on their sites as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really random. But you look at them and you think, oh, you're doing all right. How do you do that? And other people think, oh my God, I remember making those mistakes.
When we first got started on the allotment plot and we was using the timber to build raised beds, all the oldies were walking past, the experienced ones that have been there for 30 years. And they were calling us hippies and all sorts because we were using wood to make raised beds and they didn't understand it.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you framing it? Why don't you just put it straight in the ground? And I'm like, oh, because we can add compost. Well, why don't you just put compost in the ground? They didn't get the containment of different beds and things.
But I found that my first year, I never had the raised beds, and it was just in the ground and that. And it was just like, right, what have I planted and where is it? Where can I walk? Because you'd have the seed in the ground, you'd be like, right, where can we walk?
I admire people that still do it like that because it is a lot of work, hoeing and weeding in between all your nice, neat rows of crops and stuff. It's a lot of work. I just think doing the raised beds it's hard work to set up. You know yourself, but
it's worth it though.
Yeah, when you get to the end and you can just sort of walk away from it and it's not going to get like away from you. It's not necessarily cheating. I used to think it was. When I met people that done no dig and done beds, I used to think, well, why wouldn't you? Why are you investing hundreds of pounds in timber when you could just use the ground? But then doing it myself and knowing how easily crops can come out, you don't need to disturb the ground that much. You can still have as its little as its little what was the word? But it's basically it's full of life. You know, you've got the microorganisms in there. You've
Yeah,
got the water coming up and pulling things down naturally that break down in their own time, and it just becomes a really rich environment. And I
exactly.
absolutely love that way of growing. You know,
I
the
do.
ground never, or I say the ground, the compost in the beds is never hard.
No,
You know, it's never compressed.
for me, there's two benefits really. Like if I go down there and it needs de-weeding, you've only got what, a 2 meter square patch, a meter square patch, whatever size your bed is, to
Mm.
de-weed, and takes you what, 20 minutes, half an hour, and you can look at it and go, actually, that's not so bad. And you may have like 4 or 5 of them, but you
That's
can
true.
see the progress, and it's not as daunting thinking, oh my god, I got the whole thing to de-weed. It's a lot easier to do it. And the
Mm.
other thing for me, I'm starting to go towards more the no dig method.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing that towards the end of this year, and I think I'm converted on it. I think
Mm. I am. Yeah.
it's it's so good, and it's just less labor intensive. Really, it's
Right.
more
It's
enjoyable.
the obvious way to do it, isn't it? You
Yeah,
know, it really is.
yeah. And like Brian's saying there, the ground on my plot is clay, so you've got a couple of inches of decent soil, and then
Mm.
the rest is just pure clay.
Mm.
When I first started doing it, everything was just, you couldn't dig it over. Everything was getting stuck in the clay, and it was just horrendous.
Yeah.
Now it's getting there where
That around, doesn't it? To
yeah,
keep adding organic matter and manure and all kinds of different things, leaf mold. It takes years to turn it into an environment where you could just push a garlic clove in and
yeah,
you're hitting clay. You know, it takes a long, long time.
it
That's
does.
why I admire people that put the work in and spend 3 years turning around a patch of land, and you still see them 3 years later turning the soil over, turning
Mhm.
in manure. It's a lot of work.
You just introduce him, bringing more seed up to germinate. That was already in the ground.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
We've
the
got
guy he's got the plot full of couch grass and bindweeds and
yeah,
brought in the rotator in summer and didn't weed it first. Smashed the whole lot to pieces. I did say like I'd even help him dig it out,
yeah.
as did the guy who's next door to him the other side. And he was like, no, 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 no. Didn't want any help at all.
Mm.
And now it is just there's no bare earth on that allotment plot. Even where it weren't that bad, where he had strawberry beds that had been there for 7 years, is now just for the bindweed and couch grass where he's chopped it all up.
That's what
Um,
we've got on ours. We've got the bindweed, and
yeah.
I've got most of mine under control. There's still bits here and there, but
How have you
generally,
have you dug it or
I've
sprayed
dug
it?
it. Yeah, I've dug
Okay.
it. Most of it I've dug out. There's still some in the tree lines. So the one side where it's all the holly trees, I
Mm,
do spray that once a year just to keep it back a bit. And
mm,
in the no man's land, I spray that because it comes over from the garden behind. But the guy next door, because there's nobody on the plot the other side of him, he's just constantly battling the bindweed coming under the pavers, just
mm.
getting through everything. It's a constant battle, really, and he's starting to get fed up with it, and it starts to put you off then coming
Yeah,
because
it's
you
really heartening, isn't it?
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Allotment life, a genuine question. If you go no dig, how do the birds get the insects larvae below ground? I tend to find they just come up. They have a dig around.
Yeah, I find that as well. The birds do have a little dig around because it's
Yeah,
so empty and it's so easy to move. They can just. I mean, I find grubs and worms and all sorts in the
yeah,
first centimeters. I don't know about
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, we do. Worms are, we got loads of worms. Grubs, we got loads of. You can often find them just near the surface. And you have to move like a millimeter or two and you can start to see them. They're
Mm.
not deep at all. And I think as you're building your layers up with your compost and stuff, they do start to come up to look for the
Yeah.
nutrients and stuff.
And you quite often find birds having a dig around and a scratch around, and you
Yeah,
find holes and crevices where the birds have actually dug little holes and
yeah,
pulled up your garlic or things like that to try and find the worms.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've been there before, and the garlic, I found like a little trail of garlic going up the bloody path
Oh,
where they've
really?
digging around and pull them up. Like I do what you do. I bury them pretty much. I leave the tiniest little tip at the top
Mm.
out, and with same with my onions. And even then, they'll just dig them up looking for grubs and larvae and stuff. So I don't find that they have an issue at all. And we got loads of birds. We have got a lot of seagulls being this close to the sea as well.
Yeah.
But we have a load of birds that come in. I've got 2 bird boxes on my plot that were there originally, and we have robins and stuff coming there every year.
Oh, nice.
There's constant birds on our plot.
Mm.
At the same time, we've got loads of cats as well because we are in a heavily populated area,
Yeah.
and there's houses all around. We've got about 3 or 4 cats that'll just wander in, and quite often they'll just be lying across beds and stuff like that in between plants and what have you. Found a couple of dead birds before. Generally, the birds are all right with it. I'm growing Mexican marigolds next year to help control my bindweed. Ooh, is that meant to help then? The Mexican marigolds. Brian was saying he's growing Mexican marigolds next year to help control the bindweed.
How would that work? Never heard of it.
Don't they just normally take over everything and just strangle everything, really, doesn't it, bindweed?
Yeah, I mean, can you elaborate how that would work? That's quite interesting if that could work. I've got bindweed at the minute growing underneath my membrane and popping up where the membrane needs more membrane. So when you try to dig it, you can't actually dig it because the membrane's there. And when you pull it, you're snapping it because it's actually about a foot underneath the membrane that way.
Yeah.
I don't want to use any chemicals or anything like that because I've gave myself a pat on the back so far for not using any chemicals.
Yeah.
If there was a way of getting rid of bindweed organically that I haven't tried, then I'll definitely have a go.
It's worth it, isn't it?
We put this laptop on charge because it's running low. Is this your longest live stream you've done?
Yeah, it's the first one. So I've done a couple on the plot, but when YouTube changed this, when they changed the whole monetization thing to over 1,000 subscribers and that, they also changed that you couldn't live stream on your mobile unless you've got over 1,000 subscribers. You can only do it from a desktop. So I stopped doing as many live streams because I used to do them on the plot, just because it was easier. So this is the first one.
You live streaming on your phone full stop?
Yeah, unless you've got 1,000 subscribers.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, so I can't do it from the plot anymore. So with the nights drawing in now, I thought, because there's less videos and less people doing work and stuff, I just thought I'd end up doing a live stream in the house and just having a general chat, whether it's about allotments or whatever, really, just a general chat.
Yeah.
There's a lull in the season, isn't there, where there's less stuff going on and people only going on the weekends, just to make it a bit more interesting and keep it going, really.
Definitely.
So Brian's saying there's something in the roots for the marigolds that the bindweed doesn't like.
No way! I never knew that. I've never heard that. Is that like where did that originate from? Like, how did you find that out? That is really interesting. I need to look into it.
Apparently, it gives off a chemical that the bindweed doesn't like. That is interesting.
Have you heard that before now?
No, I haven't at all. The only methods I've heard about bindweed is either chemical or digging it up.
Or adding a plane.
Yeah. But even then, it just comes back. It's horrendous stuff.
Oh, yeah, you're only stopping the top leaf from photosynthesizing, aren't you?
It's like I do my nan's garden for her when she asks me to. I go over and help do her garden, and she's got mare's tail. And I won't take my allotment stuff over there. There's a separate set because we haven't got mare's tail at the plot. And I don't want it. Because that's horrendous as well.
It is.
Apparently, he found it out by accident. It does work.
No way.
I have to have a look at that. Look for some seeds in that.
Definitely.
It won't kill the bindweed, but it seems to stunt it. That's good to know. So you could almost wall it.
You'd slow the bindweed down enough for you to then maybe keep breaking it off down as well.
That's good. I might have a look at that for next year now.
What were they?
Mexican marigolds, I think it was. Yeah, Mexican marigolds.
I'll have a look. I'm just updating my phone, and it says it's going to take another hour.
Another
That
hour.
was me trying to update it because it wouldn't let me do the video on
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
It was out of date. We'll see.
I don't know if you can hear our other cat's trying to get into the room now.
I can hear some meowing going on. Yeah.
He's a cross Bengal. He's just so loud.
Really?
Yeah, he's a big cat as well, but he's just so loud.
Mm-hmm.
But he wants to get in the room now. You okay, Moll? She's just looking. Bless her. I'll be back now. 2 seconds.
What, mate?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Copy. Hello. You gonna come say hello? Come on in. Come on in. Wow. This is Indy. Where he's going.
Oh, gorgeous coloration.
Gone. Yeah, he's my boy. He's the first one we had. And he's just behave. Yeah, he's my favourite. I know I shouldn't have him, but he is by far my favourite. Just discovered tonight my new laptop has a webcam. I'll try it out on this live stream. Yeah, go for it. Come and join in. I'll pop the link in now. There you go. Pop the link in. Come and join us. What's up, buddy?
Talks to you, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's looking around. He's looking for Molly. He is. Yeah, if you just click the link and follow, it is just clicking through and following the signing up, isn't it?
Yeah, I just had to. I didn't even need to sign up. It was just that fucking kettle's too loud. All I had to do was copy your URL into Google, and it took me straight here.
Ah, happy days.
Yeah, really easy.
Yeah, if you do them on, if you decide to do a live stream with this, all you do is you enter in your email address. Excuse me. You enter in your email address. You link it to your YouTube channel, and you don't have a password or anything. It'll email you a 6-digit number, and you use that to start it up. Then.
Really cool.
Oh,
Really.
How we doing? Hello?
I didn't have to do it without a mic.
Yeah, you've got a mic. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yes, no problem.
Excellent.
Well, that's first time for me.
It's first
As
time.
well.
Wow. Hosting my
Well, I didn't know tonight. I had a webcam.
Yeah. So where did you find out about these Mexican marigolds?
Oh, a few years ago.
Okay.
It was, I think it was something I'd seen online.
Yeah.
A YouTuber, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So I give it a try.
Brilliant for information, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I'll give it a try. YouTube's full of information if you look for it.
Oh, I will. Yeah, definitely.
If I ever want to find anything out, I always go to YouTube's normally my first port of call. If I want to build anything or just look out for anything, YouTube is always the first place I go these days.
You can find absolutely everything you want.
You literally can find anything.
I've got a lot of echoes.
I'm just boiling the kettle.
With the echo, if you go into your YouTube channel, YouTube video, and put it on mute, that's normally because there's a delay. That's normally where the it comes from.
Right. No,
Ooh. There's a way as well you can make people
right.
oh, that's just me. Right. Indeed. Sorry about that. They decided they wanted to have a fight. But yeah, you
I'll
can do
get
all.
used to it eventually.
What's that?
I'll get used to this eventually. Took us 2
Yeah.
years to learn editing.
You can do. You can make people big screen just on their own.
Oh wow! Oh, don't put my ugly face on there now.
You can also screen share. Am I screen sharing?
Yeah. Well, see everybody. That's what it means.
Yeah, there's a big time delay.
Yeah. The StreamYard is a delay with it. I think it's about 30 seconds to a minute, I think it was. But that happens every time. I don't know why it's not the same. So what are you growing this year or next year, Brian?
I think I'm more set with the sort of stuff I grow that I eat.
Oh, okay. When you hoping to get down the plot now? Is it next week, did you say?
I'm going to try in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. What's the weather meant to be like? Because I know we're meant to have rain again, I think.
I thought I'd get down today, but it's been raining.
Yeah.
Forecast dry tomorrow,
Okay.
so take a chance.
Yeah, why not? And it's because we haven't got a shed at the minute because I started taking it down. Normally, if it was raining, I'd just sit in the shed for a bit and just work in the.
I haven't
In
got
the
a
rain.
shed.
Ah, okay. It's the
I've
same
got to
then.
be careful. I've got the portability scooter.
Okay. And you said it's only 5 minutes away. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Quick.
not too bad. It's not too bad then at all, is it? This StreamYard's worked out all right, haven't it?
Hmm.
You can.
Do you post anything on your channels outside of what you originally set them up for?
Yes, I do sometimes.
Hmm.
Not often, but I do
Hmm.
now and again. Because I saw your post earlier on Facebook, Joe, about that guy.
I was just reading the comments on it on the phone.
Has there been more comments? Is it?
On that post, yeah. It's nice getting such positive feedback. I don't focus on the negative side of it. We all get it. But
Yeah.
that's just one too many. I mean, in the last month, I must have had about 30 messages privately giving me abuse, really, for going outside of the allotment. Someone told me it was they spoke about it like I was a third person. They said, this channel is called Digging for Dinner. This channel is about gardening and growing your own and all. And you should understand that we only subscribe to see how to grow stuff. And I took a step back, like, hold on a minute. It's not called Joe at the allotment.
No.
It is predominantly gardening, but in winter, if there's not much about, bear in mind that my channel isn't monetized, and I don't get much from it, but I get a little bit from it. Why wouldn't I be going? Do you know what I mean?
And it's your channel at the end of the day. It's for you to put what you want on there.
Yeah, I mean, 9 out of 10 people are really nice, but you always get one that just doesn't understand why you're putting content up that's not you at the allotment plot.
Yeah.
Some people don't understand that. Although I a lot of videos out from that allotment plot, it takes a lot of work editing. It takes a lot of work. I mean, I've got 5 videos backed up waiting to go on, all scheduled for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then again Monday and Wednesday. It's taken me 3 full days to get them all edited, uploaded, prepared, and
Yeah.
things on it. But no, I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's really nice. I love YouTube. I love the community. Just like what you guys were speaking about a minute ago. I love that you can jump on and type anything in, and there'll be someone showing you how to do it.
Exactly.
I watch YouTube over TV.
We do as well in our house now. Yeah, much
I
more.
forget what TV is, Joe.
Yeah, gets like that, doesn't it? Yeah, I'd rather watch something and learn than watch some kind of reality TV show like The Only Way is Essex or something. You know, like what people watch on TV. I don't find an interest in it, so I don't tend to watch it.
No, that's it. And like I said, it's your channel. It's for you to put what you want on there. It doesn't matter what everyone else says. Like I've put stuff up before where it's been, you know, I've been at the local fireworks show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And put that on there. You know.
I do want to. I mean, it's in the description when I set the channel up. It says it's an outdoorsy channel.
Yeah.
And it's like the outdoors. You know, even just being in woodland or being in a forest or just. And
You put your camping and your fishing on there as well, don't you?
Yeah, I've done a couple of fishing. I mean, I did do a separate channel for it, and it was so much of it. It was a headache basically trying to upload on one channel. I mean, I made the mistake of uploading the fishing one originally on Digging for Dinner. And I thought, you know what? It's taken 11 hours to upload. I'm just going to leave it. If no one wants to watch it, don't watch it. And in the end, I thought, you know what? Sod it. I'll change my name on YouTube. I'll change it to something like Joe Mills and make it generic. And I'll put anything on there. But then I had a second thought and I thought, it doesn't matter what the channel name is called. If a video pops up that's about camping and you're not interested in camping, don't click it. You know, exactly that. Yeah, exactly. You know, if someone puts something up on a channel that I watch a lot of gardening, a lot of fishing. But if there was a guy showing you how to rebuild his kitchen on a fishing channel and I weren't interested, I wouldn't click on it.
Exactly.
It's up to people what they want to watch, I guess. I mean, Sean James Cameron gives me advice now and again because he keeps chopping and changing his channel because he's trying to find the right videos for his outdoorsy stuff. He said since he changed his name, he's lost a lot of subscribers through it, and he was basically chatting. And I decided against it. I just don't see why I should change the name to suit the content, you know.
That's it. And
it's all outdoors, you know.
The people that send you these messages and stuff, do they then go to like the BBC and say, "Well, you haven't filmed it in the British Broadcasting Centre"? It's like that, though, isn't it?
The same people that would complain to the BBC about something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Nad, I've had death threats on YouTube in summer. People telling me if you don't delete your channel,
people
bury you in your allotment, things like that.
What is it? Are you taking their subscribers or something?
I don't know what it is.
It's crazy.
I don't know what it is. I've never known. I don't rate what I do. You know, I don't blow my own trumpet. I go on a lot, and I enjoy what I do on it. It's that simple. But I don't know. Some people like trolling the vlogs and that. But that was just one that was one too many. So I thought, you know what, I'll share it. It wasn't one of the nastier comments, but I'll put it on there just so people can see that when you don't have garden content on a gardening channel, people do get you.
That's crazy.
Have you had any negative feedback?
Yeah, I've had a bit, but nothing like that.
Yeah.
I've had ones like, you haven't edited it very well, or you should have done this, or you're doing that wrong. This is the right way to do it. I'm like,
oh, right.
But nothing like you've had.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But I started my channel. It was more for me than anything to know what was working, what wasn't working, so I can go back.
Exactly the same as me, mate. Yeah.
Find out what was working, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the percentage of likes for every video that goes on just doesn't seem right.
No.
Every time I watch a video, I'll hit the like out of respect for the effort they've made. I've seen some very good videos with an average of, 12, 30%, 50% likes?
Yeah.
For all the views I've had.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot if you look at how many views a video's had compared to how many thumbs up or thumbs down even it's had, because I don't even mind getting a thumbs down as long as it's constructive criticism and stuff. Or I don't mind it.
Unfortunately, in my experience, a lot of the thumbs down and a lot of the criticism that I've had is not constructive. It's
Okay.
aimed that you're doing too much, or you're doing the things that I want to do on my plot, and you're kind of getting ahead of me, and so smash the thumbs down button.
Yeah.
If it was constructive criticism, I'll take it all day long. But
Yeah.
because I research what I do before I do it to make sure that I'm showing people how to do it right. If people do criticise, they're not necessarily criticising my work; they're criticising the work that I've researched. So I don't take it to heart.
No, exactly. And with gardening, it's such a trial and error sort of hobby that everyone's got their own ways of doing it.
Absolutely.
You use sort of 3 parts of this and 2 parts of that, and I use 4 parts of this and 1 part of that.
Yeah, that's it.
As long as you're happy with the result, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, it doesn't. No.
And that's what I find. But you're right, Bri. In terms of the amount of likes or dislikes that videos get compared to how many views is a lot lower. A lot lower.
I've got no set parameters when I'm doing a video. I know I could do, but I don't. I just put one together.
Yeah.
It goes on the day.
That's it. I don't edit any of mine, really. I tend to just put all the clips together. I do a little bit of editing just to make them a bit more not disjointed. But other than that, because I'm guessing you spend hours doing yours, Joe.
I've got ideas for the future. As to what happens, I don't know yet.
Why not? Give it a go.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if you, let's say you did one of your videos on the marigolds with the bindweed, neither of us knew that.
Nope.
Well, when I saw them, I will put that in.
Yeah. I'm going to have a look at that over the weekend now and do a bit of research on it.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've got bindweed and it's just horrendous.
Well worth it. Well worth it.
Yeah. Have you done it before then?
Yes. It's supposed to go to a few feet, but on my soil, you're at 6 feet.
Wow. I'm going to definitely have a look at that.
Like Cosmos. Cosmos is only supposed to go about 3.5, 4 feet.
Yeah.
7 foot on my soil.
7
Is it?
The biggest of bloody sunflowers.
You must have good soil then.
It took a long time to work at it.
I bet. How long have you had your plot?
20 years.
Oh, fair play.
Wow.
Fair play.
Wow. You must be happy with your site then and your allotment itself,
Oh, I've had it all sorts of years.
So,
including rotten wood chips. Well, I mean, deep beds. Not about this human culture method.
Yeah.
I started about 18, 19 years ago when I made my deep beds. Putting all the rubbish in, all the logs and, any more timbers.
Yeah.
Saves me long-term compost beds. Or my timbers went in.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I wasn't going to touch them for a couple of years.
Doesn't do them any harm, does it?
So human culture, it's nothing new.
Sorry, I've just got a message. Yeah, it's nothing new at all, really, is it? It's just different. Like when people say about not using pallets because of the chemicals and that, does it have that much of an effect on what chemicals? Depends what chemicals it's treated with, I suppose, but
I heard never to use a pallet that's been stored in China. Other than that, the chemicals that are used, in Europe, don't tend to stay in the timber for longer than 12 months.
Okay.
So if you were building a bed, say for example with pallets,
I'm lucky I've never had them traded pallets with my plot.
tiny inside, after 12 months, apparently you'll be able to take the liner off, and whatever was in the wood would have been weathered and is true. I don't think it's too much of an issue really, as long as you're not using anything that you used to store leaky containers of acid and things like that. You know,
I never take a chance when it's head.
Say that again.
People use tyres.
Oh yeah.
For I used to work for the rubber industry. We made the rubber for tyres, back Formula One tyres, and I knew what chemicals were in it. And there's a lot of cancerous stuff is used in these rubber industries, so I won't use tyres.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of people still do, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes,
they do. Yeah, they use them as beds.
That's right.
Yeah,
You grow potatoes in them. Friends of mine grow the fruit bushes in them.
3 or 4 tires stacked up, and every time the potatoes start to exceed the top, they add another tire and then keep earthing it up, don't they?
Yeah. Well, friends of mine used fruit bushes.
Oh yeah.
Scary stuff, really, isn't it? It's like
It
the pallets you get.
it is. The more you know, the less you want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
The pallets I use, again, from my dad's work, and they're a chemical plant, but they make it's chemicals that go into food.
So
right. In my eyes, because they're not full on pallets, there's thin pallets. They haven't got the big blocks of wood in between them, so it's just slats of wood on top of each other. Now, because a lot of it is stuff they use in the food industry, in my eyes, you've got the chemicals on them, like you were saying, but we don't. They're normally sitting outside for a year or so before we use them anyway. So, like Joe was saying, in terms of the chemicals, they normally come off anyway, and that's not near the plot. So that's the ones we sort of normally use.
I gained one way before I retired, which is recent. I managed to get some sofa from work. I'd have the blueberries. At least something good from it.
Yeah, that's it. It's got to be something, haven't it? Right. I'm going to have to end this in about 10 minutes, Jen, so if you don't mind, I've got work tomorrow.
Well, I've learned something new tonight. I've got a webcam to work.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, and this is only thinking, I might start to do this every Monday. So feel free to pop in and join in and stuff.
I think I'm going to set one up as well, mate. I didn't know you could do it. Like I said, when I've done a live stream before, I think the most amount of people I had in a live stream was 106.
Okay.
And although that's not a lot in the grand scheme of YouTubers doing live stream, it was I just couldn't keep up. And on the phone, you used to do it on the phone yourself. I'm not sure I use the iPhone. That's what I do all my vlogs on. The messages only stay up for 3 to 5 seconds and they're gone. Yeah. And I've never found a way of retrieving them. So I'm constantly reading rather than making a vlog, you know?
Yeah.
And by the time I've read one and I go to reply, there's another one and another one. If we can get people in like this, it's a much more sociable way of chatting.
It is, yeah.
You can still read the comments, you know.
I think I'd be tempted to read the comments as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing, like, it is quite hard when you're getting involved in the conversation like this, is trying to keep an eye on the comments as well. But you can, I believe you can create admins as well. So there's people in the chat that are constantly monitoring it.
You're always going to get your trolls in.
Say that again.
You're always going to get the trolls in some time or other.
Yeah, that's it. And then they can keep the trolls out and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a really good way.
Live stream initially. I don't know. Did either of you watch the last live stream?
When was it?
When was that? It must have been June.
Possibly.
And the amount of trolls we had in there. I mean, it's still on the channel now. It was just people being racist, people giving each other abuse, people giving abuse. I had to make Kelly the admin on there so she could control it. I came in.
Well, I'm one of the admins Monty on a Saturday night. My family garden. I managed to catch it.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth having someone be there to monitor the trolls.
You can have as many as you want, I believe. So if you can have like 20 if you wanted.
Yes,
and it's just easier to catch it, isn't it?
So that I thought you could only have one.
No.
I stopped because I was going to do one every week, like what you suggested, because I thought it's a really sociable thing to do.
Yeah.
But that one, it was every second message was one of these trolls. There was one called Another. There was one called Big Black, and they were just so racist. And they were so, why have you got a face tattoo, you prick? And it was like, hang on a minute, we're talking about sunflowers here, mate. Like, and Kelly's like, oh, I can't keep up. Like, you know. So,
but if you're getting,
this is absolutely brilliant.
You can get if you're getting regular people that you know and trust and stuff, you can have them as your admin. So at least you've always got a couple in when you're doing your live streams and that, and then they can just block them and delete the comments and stuff. It does make it a lot. Yeah.
You can block them, bro. I haven't found a way to delete.
I'm sure there's a way of deleting them.
I think there is. I haven't found it yet.
So if they comment in the chat, delete it.
I think it's something YouTube picks up on. You get the box on screen, and you decide whether or not you want to delete it or.
Yeah, so you can block the user or put them in
before the chat hits the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't go live again unless I've got someone in to monitor it. I had kids watching on the channel, kids that I'd sent seeds to that wanted to talk about the seeds that had grown, and there was so much swearing, and I swear a lot in my normal daily life. I try not to swear too much on YouTube, and I mean, Nad, if we went in together, I'd make you an admin because I'd imagine you're pretty quick to get in there and get people off.
I'm happy to give it a go if you want me to. But to delete the comments, you just click on the comment and then the 3 dots come up. If you click on that, this is in YouTube now, and you can click remove. And then that should remove the comment.
I think what I come up with was block.
Yeah. So you can block them completely from the channel and that, can't you? Which is good. Because you're only going to have so many, aren't you? In theory. Yeah, like I said, you can have 6 people in here. You can also, like I said, you can meet if someone's, I don't know, let's say you're showing us your seedlings, Joe. I can make you full screen. You can, hang on.
It's like being an editor, isn't it? As someone,
it is.
Quickly jump to them, like.
Yeah. Or like if I wanted, say, I don't know, let's say my wife came in now, I can just turn my cam off and you can still hear me.
Oh, nice.
Or vice versa.
Oh, yeah.
Myself and everyone else can just carry on. It even works as well. So let's say my internet drops out and I'm hosting it, it'll still carry on. It'll still stay there. So not everyone's kicked out and stuff.
Oh, nice.
You can also screen share. So if you're, I don't know, let's say you're shopping on eBay or looking at plants and stuff or seeds, you can click the screen share one, go into it, and everyone will see just that screen, be the full screen.
Nice.
You can do it. There's loads of different things you can do.
I think this editing business is brilliant.
It's good, isn't it?
It took us 2 years to learn the basics.
Yeah.
And then once you learn so much, it hits you full on the face. You realise there's so much more you can do, but you're not being in a position to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
What do you edit with? I know you don't edit much now. What do you both edit with?
I use my iPad.
Or Filmora.
What is it?
Filmora.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I use
iMovie.
What else am I going to do?
That's what I use. Well, iMovie, yeah.
But I find because
I've tried other programs for editing, it's not on.
Yeah. Some of the ones that you can download will do some stuff, but they won't do others. Some of the other ones take ages to render a video, and you only get crap quality at the end of it.
That's right. I can do it for each section I put in with order, one section at a time. I bring it from scratch. So when I finish, it's all done.
Yes.
YouTube having to do.
Yeah.
What do you film with?
I use my phone.
You want to see what you're putting out before you let it go.
I just use my phone when I'm filming.
What phone is it you use?
So I was using my iPhone. I've now got a Google phone. So I use that. Yeah.
What do you prefer?
They're much of a sameness, if I'm honest. I'm going to say Google just because.
No.
Only because it's more versatile and you can do more things with it in terms of it's more adaptable than an iPhone. But I use my old iPhone to film with, mainly at the allotment, because if I drop it and wherever, I don't really mind because it's an old. In fact, I think it's 2 phones old. So I tend to use that.
I won't use it for things are too big.
What do you use then?
I just use a camcorder.
Okay.
Transfer everything to the laptop.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, knowing me, I've left my phones at the allotment before and all sorts. Yeah.
Remember, I got this.
I think I left the camcorder down there.
This was a £600 phone on contract, and the day I got it, I went up the plot to vlog in I think it was 4K just to see if it worked. Passed it to Kelly, dropped it straight away there and then on the live feed. I still got stuck in the corner of the screen now. But, no, you can't beat the phones. I mean, a lot of people use a lot of expensive gear, don't they? A lot of the older Canons, although they're really good. The phones ain't that bad.
No, that's it.
I've thought about upgrading to camcorders and microphones, and although that would make better quality videos, it's expensive.
It is expensive. I have used my I've got a GoPro as well, so I've used that a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used that a few times. Like I use that when I'm looking in my pond as well.
That's what I did recently.
Yeah, I saw you do it. I was like, oh, I do that. Just to see if there's anything going on there, because it's a fairly new pond. And we haven't introduced anything to it. It's just to see if there's anything coming apart from the frog we've introduced. But yeah, with us, I've used mine for that. Or
I'm happy with the camcorder.
Yeah, whatever works.
Yeah,
well, it takes good pictures, does good video. The only drawback, if too much sunlight, there's an error.
Okay.
Wow.
I tend to find the phone. The only thing with the phone, it does pick up the wind a lot.
Yes.
Mine doesn't seem to pick the wind up that much.
That's good.
I don't use the mic.
Yeah.
What camera is it?
It's a Sonic.
Oh, right.
Camcorder.
Okay.
And you can, if you wanted to, plug in a mic and stuff like that.
I've never looked because I've never needed to.
Fair enough.
I'm happy with the results.
Yeah.
Oh, fair play. Yeah, that's my only gripe is the fact that it picks up the wind a lot, and it can be annoying that you have to get closer.
Yeah.
To do your bits.
My vlogs, man, because I'm not sure if you can hear me, especially when the wind's blowing. I started it. What is going on? Oh, I'm a shy.
It's easily done, though, isn't it?
It is.
It's been used with wind quite a bit. Good results.
And no issues. Oh, fair play.
I think most of my work's actually the grade.
Okay. If I start doing more videos more often, more frequently, I might look into getting something a bit more substantial, should we say? A bit more permanent. But at the minute, because it's just, I only do it like this year. I haven't done hardly any videos and stuff, but I want to start doing them again. My phone's fine for me. I'm not that.
I've got to be careful when I'm doing video. I've got to have to raise the camera on the tripod. Me go to the tripod, then go on a walk in the flaming garden. I've done that a few times.
Yeah. I've buried my phone a couple of times as well, where I've had it balanced on the side of a bed and stuff while I'm filming. I've forgotten about it. And then I've been shifting the soil or the compost and that. And I'm like, right, where's my phone? When I've gone to film the next bit, and I've had to ring it to find it. It's really bad. Really bad. Good fun though. Hello. Oh god.
I'm gonna let you go, mate. You got to get up to work.
Yeah. Sadly, I do. Right, it was nice chatting, gents.
Yeah, and you, mate. Do it again,
Thanks
definitely.
for joining me.
See you later. See you, Joe.
I'll probably do another one next Monday now. So if feel free to join in.
Definitely, mate. You guys take it easy, yeah?
You know.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
See you later on.
Bye.